careful with that case, you fool. That's more important than the Norden bomb sight. All right, put it down. Get out.
Come on. All clear, sir. May I take a look at it now, sir?
Be my guest. Is that beautiful? Look at that. That is probably the only case of vintage 34 Sauvignon champagne in the entire Pacific.
Oh, sir.
When I think of the party we can have with this when I'm promoted, I quiver. I positively quiver.
Well, I hate to interrupt you quivering, sir, but how are you going to keep this a secret from McHale and his men until then?
Oh, you can't keep it a secret from McHale. They probably knew about this the minute it was loaded on the freighter in San Diego. But I was too fast for them this time. The boat has sailed, Carpenter, believe me, because when I turn these keys, this place is going to be locked up tighter than a mummy's tomb.
Groundhogs, grab the bubble water and let's blow. Here you are, Skipper. Sauvignon 34. Pure liquid gold. Why, if I was the mercenary type, I could get $50 a bottle for this giggle juice.
Yeah, and I'd give $50 more to see the expression on old Leadbottom's face when he finds out it's been heisted.
You mean you guys swiped this from Captain Binghamton?
Yeah, well, I got news for you, meatheads. This stuff is going right back where it came from. We're not sticking our necks out for a few crummy bottles of champagne.
There's some things worth taking a chance for.
Yeah, like what?
This very important occasion, Skipper-san. It's my first anniversary.
Hey, gee, congratulations, Fuji. I didn't even know you were married.
Hey, wait a minute, hold it, Chuck. That's right. Today is the 17th. Well, congratulations, Fuji. It's been a whole year since Fuji won his letters.
That's the reason we swiped the giggle water, so we could celebrate in style.
I even cooking big lobster dinner for tonight. Only what good big lobster dinner without champagne?
Yeah, how about it, Skip? It's for the best doggone PW an outfit ever had.
Yeah, come on.
All right, hold it. Well, I guess I'm just not cut out to be a party pooper. Okay.
Well, I'll put it on ice. Post the guard at the gate. But, sir, I don't understand. Just this morning, you said you were saving the champagne for your promotion.
Uh-huh. Well, actually, Carpenter, I do have a little promotion in mind.
Sir?
That new nurse on Ward 3. However, I'm only going to take one bottle. The rest of it, I'm going to leave right where it is. Untouched by human hands. Unspoiled by its gone.
Gone?
Did you see it?
Oh, no.
Glenn is gone. Yes, it's gone. My beautiful sparkling champagne is gone.
But, sir, the bars on the windows, the guards, the padlocks. How is it possible, sir?
I'll tell you how it's possible. I'll tell you in one sickening, horrible word. McHale, that's how it's possible. McHale stole my champagne. McHale and that bunch of bubble grabbers.
Captain, how can you be so certain it was Commander McHale when you don't even know how he got in here in the first place?
Oh, I'll find out how he did it, Carpenter. I promise you, I'll find out the answers in this thing if it... I'll get to the bottom of this.
Sir, are you all right?
Wow, is tonight going to be a wingding?
Hey, that reminds me. Time to check lobster pot.
You go ahead and do that, Fuge. In the meantime, let me have your attention over here, men. We just received a little billet doux. Our fearless leader wants us to do a recon check on Borrolora Island. He says that there's been rumors of stepped-up activity.
Activity? By who? The Goonie Birds?
All right, hold it, you bunch of champagne guzzlers. You're still in the Navy, remember? Now, if you guys want to get back here in time for the festivities, you better get yourself a move on. And I mean on the double.
Yeah, come on, you guys. You heard us, Skip. Let's move out. Let's move out. Let's hit the deck. Come on, man. Let's move. Let's move. Let's nip those nips. Oh, sorry, Pooch. No offense. Just a figure of speech.
That's okay, Parker-san. I know you are the best friend Imperial Navy ever have.
Thanks, Pooch. Boy, the best friend. I've been insulted.
Sir, there's not a sign of McHale and his men. Ordering them on that phony mission was brilliant strategy. Oh, sir, you've completely fooled them.
Oh, stop buttering me up and find my champagne. Let's go. Move on. Well, if this isn't the Saturday end. Not only does McHale hijack my champagne, but he turns his place into a nightclub so he can guzzle it in style. Tear the place apart.
Sir, quick! Come over here. Look out here, sir. Quick. Sir, look, right there.
It's a frog man. What's the matter? It's a Japanese frog man.
Yes, sir, it's an invasion. Sound the alarm, man!
Nitwit, he'll see us, you man. Stand by over there. Stand by. And Nick, whose side are you on? What's the matter? Marines, guard the door. They'll take them alive. I'll watch our flank.
Aye, sir. Here. I got him, sir. I got him.
All right, you got him. Make sure you got him now. You got him? All right, Joe. All right. Who are you? What do you got to say for yourself? Speak up, speak up, speak up.
Oy vey.
Oy vey, what does that mean?
Oh, sir, I don't speak Japanese.
All right, Tojo, don't you speak any English?
日本語しか全然わかりません。もう英語は全然わかりません。
Stop that dirty talk. There must be somebody around here who understands this gibberish.
I believe Commander McHale speaks Japanese, sir, but I hardly think that you'd want to ask
Of course
him.
you hardly think, you nitwit. That's why you're still a lieutenant. You hardly think. Get in touch with McHale. Have him come back here on the double. We're going to take this miserable wretch over to the base for interrogation.
Aye, sir. But what about your champagne, sir?
Who can worry about petty larceny at a time like this? Go!
Yes, sir.
I just may have captured the Nathan Hale of World War II. None of that judo stuff.
Signal from the base, Kip. It's urgent.
Now, how do you like that? Old Leadbottom wants me back to help him interrogate a spy he caught on our island.
On our island?
Well, there must be some mistake, Skip. Well, gee, if there were any Japanese on our island, we'd know about it. Oh, boy.
Get those throttles, Christy. Let's go home.
It's Fuji. He's been called.
They must think he's the spy.
All right, boys.
So you don't believe I captured a Japanese spy? How would you call him, huh?
Why, that sawed-off little runt. Why, Captain, you must be kidding. Look at him. Well, look at him. He's just a teenager.
Well, yeah, he looks like a kid you're allowed to meet in any malt shop.
A kid you're liable to meet in any malt shop in Yokohama. Those beady eyes. Look at that sneaky look on his face. I know a spy when I see one. You're a spy.
Oh, but, Captain, he's just a harmless kid. I'll bet he doesn't even shave.
Doesn't shave? Doesn't shave? Neither did Mata Hari.
Mata Hari? That's very funny, sir. Mata Hari did not. Very good, sir.
Shut up. What do you like? I didn't come here to entertain a spy ring. Okay, I'll make him confess. Find out where he hid his camera. Come on.
Well, I'll do my best, sir, but I still think you're barking up the wrong tree. でしたんだ、Fuji。レゴので話せ。
あ、そう。魚釣りに出かけてね、車エビを取りに行ったんですよ。それでもうクタクタになって疲れて一生懸命なって。
It's just like I told you, sir. He's just a humble fisherman. He's no spy. Why, he comes from the Bonga Islands, about 200 miles north of here.
でも捕まった途端にもう一生懸命なってもがいてもう逃げようと思って
He
一
was
生
caught
懸
in a
命。
typhoon.
結局もう全然力の果てしてもうこういうふうになって左へ右へ後ろへこういうふうになっても結局全然もう。
And the boat tossed and turned and up and down and back and forth and side to side and...
それでここの豚箱へ入れられちゃったというわけなんです。
And the first thing you know, the boat sank and he had to swim for it, and there he was on our island. That's it.
Boy, just in the nick of time, too. I was getting seasick just listening to him.
Will you get out of here?
I'll wait over here.
No, McHale, you're not going to believe this trial-size Mikado, are you?
Oh, he's telling the truth, sir. He's no spy.
If you were to press charges against him, why, you'd be the laughingstock of Fleet. If I were you, I'd put him in a canoe and send him back to his village. If I were you.
McHale, if you were me, I'd cut my throat. Carpenter.
Sir.
How soon can we get a plane to send this so-called humble fisherman up to Fleet for professional interrogation?
There's a transport being overhauled right now, sir, and it should be ready to take off in about 3 hours.
Good. Now send an urgent dispatch to the admiral. Tell him that I have captured a Japanese spy, maybe their key operator in the South Pacific.
I see.
We'll see who's the laughing stock of the fleet when I get the Navy Cross.
Man, we've really got problems. They doubled the guard.
We gotta do something. We just can't let Fuji rot in some prison compound for the duration.
Well, you don't have to worry about that, Verge. When it comes to spies, they just... Boy, he's in trouble.
Hey, look. Why don't we tunnel in and heist him, just like we did the champagne?
Nah, no dice. It took us 3 days to dig that last tunnel. We got less than 3 hours till sayonara time.
Yeah, what we've got to figure out is how to keep that plane from taking off.
That's right. But Binghamton's convinced that by turning in Fuji, he's going to end the war. The only way to keep him from making that flight would be if... Would be if
what?
No, it'd never work.
Oh,
Shh. What I was thinking of was... Well, suppose if all of a sudden there was no more war going on. Would you guys question a spy if the fighting was over?
Of course not.
Never.
What's the sense of dreaming?
We're 2,000 miles from Tokyo.
The war ain't nearly over.
All right, I know that, but we need breathing room. Now, just supposing we could convince a few of these guys around here that the war was over. I'm willing to bet that old Lead Bottom would get so excited, he'd even forget about the flight.
He'd be excited. What about the rest of the base? They'd be dancing in the boondocks.
Yeah, and who's to say them guards down at the brig won't want to be in on the celebrating too?
Right. And that's when we spring Fuji. Skip, this idea is so brilliant, it's even worthy of me.
Gentlemen, it is exactly 2 hours and 37 minutes to VJ Day. Let's get out of here.
Well, I don't understand, Skip. I think...
Here you go, guys. These ought to be enough to start VJ Day with a bang.
All right, you bunch of peacemakers, you all set? Yes, How about you, Willie? You all zeroed in on the right frequency?
Got it, Skip.
Atta boy. All right, Chuck. You're on the air in exactly 7 minutes. Now, please, will you come in on cue? And the rest of you guys, the minute you get my signal, start blasting and keep blasting until I give you the word to stop. Gentlemen, it was quite a war while it lasted. Let's go.
Testing, testing, testing.
There's the skipper's signal, guys. We're in business.
Hey, what's with you guys?
Hey, where you been hiding, mate? It just come over the radio. The war is over.
Carpenter, what is all that racket out there? What is that?
I don't know, sir. It almost sounds like New Year's Eve.
Oh, New Year's Eve in the middle of July.
Have you heard? The war is over.
Oh, McHale, knock that off. Save that for April Fool's Day.
No. The Japanese have surrendered. They've thrown in the towel, sir. Come on, it's coming in on the radio now. You can hear it.
Stay with me.
Come on. Hey, Sonny, turn on the emergency frequency over here. Come on, boy, make it stop it.
Stand by all commands. The next voice you hear will be that of our Commander-in-Chief, the President of the United States.
My friend, and you men in the service are my friends. It is my pleasure to inform you all, or all you, that the Japanese Empire has fallen. Victory is ours.
Small dog.
Down, fella. You get so excited. The fighting is over, and the war has been won.
Did you hear that, Captain?
Now what do you think?
I don't know what to think. I never heard Fowler before. I can't believe it.
Stand by, all commands. Armed Forces Radio now takes you to London, England. Come in, BBC.
Yes, quite so. Tip, all that sort of stuff. Well, this is Cecil B. Cecil speaking to you from the shadow of Big Ben. Yes, hear it in the background. The war is over. I think that bell has flipped its bloody bowler. Yes, I repeat, the war is over.
Peace! Boy, baby, slip me 5. It was a great war, won and lasted. Skip, forward my mail to Ebbets Field. Brooklyn, here I come! Taxi!
Brooker, you come back here. He was out of uniform.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Hello, Free French headquarters. Voulez-vous, if you please. This is Armed Forces Radio. Do you read me, French headquarters? Come in, French headquarters.
This calls for champagne.
Gentlemen, here we are. The best champagne in the South Pacific. Sauvignon 34.
Sauvignon 34, you stole that from my supply hut.
Well, why not let bygones be bygones, Captain? We were saving it for you, sir, till the end of the war.
You stole my champagne. You admit it? And you're giving it back? You're right, the war is over.
Cheers, Captain.
The people over here are going out of their, how you say, cotton-picking mind.
Oh, Captain, don't you think you better tell the rest of the base the good news? After all, they should hear it first from their fearless leader. Yes, sir.
And now hear this. This is your fearless leader. This is the captain speaking. Yeah, the war in the Pacific is over. Japanese surrendered and the fighting is
You heard the man? The war is over. Come on, let's get out of here and really tie one on, huh? Wait a minute, what about the prisoner? We can't leave him. Who cares about spies in peacetime? It's VJ Day, swabbies. Come on, there's more where that came from.
Where are the keys, Fuji? Over there. Hey, Fuji, we got a great place to stash it till the boat picks you up. Come on up.
welded together in the finest fighting machine of all. Our chief of staff thanks you.
That's a great speech, Captain. Yes, sir.
I'm not through.
Oh, come on out and join the celebration.
Oh, good idea.
Yeah, let's go.
Wait a minute. You want to snort? You go pop your own cork.
Where Admiral Fujiyama Sakamoto has just signed the peace treaty and is about to say a few words to the American people. Admiral Fujiyama Sakamoto.
Oh, so, this Admiral Sakimoto. Hi, everybody. Well, war is over. We give old courage try, but we lose anyway. Well, tough teriyaki for our side.
Fuji's all sprung and accounted for, Skip. Came off smoother than the great train robbery.
Nice going, Groob. Hey, now listen. Start tapering off on that celebration. I don't want this to get too far out of hand. Understand?
Watch where you're going, bird brain.
Just a minute, please. Whom are you calling bird brain? Pigeon head. Yeah,
How dare
pigeon
you say
head.
that to me?
Listen, you've had the course, lead bottom. I have spent 2 years listening to your what, and your who. You know something, friend? I am sick.
Oh, my. You shouldn't have done that, Carpy.
I thought so, too.
But he can sing you up for 20. Yipe. Whoa, boy.
It's Admiral Rogers. Let's blow. We'll all get 20 years.
I know, but we can't leave Binghamton in the drink. Come on, give me a hand here. Come on up, Captain. Come on up, boy. A little bit more now. And a boy. Back, Captain.
Hand, hut! Afternoon, Admiral.
Yeah, belay the small talk, McHale. What in blazes is going on here? What kind of a madhouse are you running, Binghamton?
Lower your voice when you talk to me, you loudmouth. I'm not one of your lackeys anymore.
You're drunk, Binghamton. I'll have your stripes for this.
Yeah, well, I'm saving the trouble. There's the stripes. I don't need them after the war's over anyway, huh?
What are you talking about? McHale, what is this nonsense about the war being over?
I'm telling myself what I mean, you blow-hearted, gold-braided blowhard, you. I got a better idea. There's a radio on the 73. You can listen to the news for yourself.
Well, I have an idea. We'll both listen.
Skip, Mr. Parker's still down there.
How about Admiral? Admiral, our radio's out, sir. You can hear better at headquarters, sir.
Where is he?
Where is he? Stay out of sight.
Aye, 'tis nae every day you can win a grand war like this, and so we say to the bonny lads and lassies who helped defeat the Japanese. The people of Scotland say, hoot man. They say that a lot in Scotland. Ten hoot man.
Oh, the war is over, huh, Binghamton? Well, I have news for you. I have just begun to fight. What is the meaning of this hoax, mister? Speak up!
Well,
speak up!
Well, maybe I can explain, sir.
See, you do that, McHale, and for your sake, it better be good.
It better be good for everybody's sake. Topside! All of you, up, up! All right, McHale, now start explaining.
Well, yes, sir. Well, you see, sir, really, we didn't mean any harm, sir. Of that you can be sure of.
Sir, with your permission, I'll draw up the court-martial papers personally.
That will be my pleasure. This time, McHale, you've gone too far. Endangering the entire base is an excuse for another one of your wild parties. This is absolutely the... Great Scott! What is that?
Hey, Joe, we surrender. We quit. We quit.
That's one of them new-nip super PTs.
We've been trying to capture one of those for months.
War over, Joe. War over. You win. You win.
Hey, Skipper, they must have picked up our broadcast.
Yeah, they fell for my Admiral Sakimoto. Gee, I thought my accent was terrible.
Didn't, Chuck? Well, you were great. Why do you think I asked you to do all those invitations?
Wait a minute, McHale. Are you going to tell me you planned all this?
Well, yes, of course, sir. Yes, sir. Well, we knew that there was a PT boat out there, sir, and we knew that she was much too fast for us, so...
You took a long-shot chance. Faked the end of the war, hoping that they would turn into the nearest port.
Yes. That's sort of the idea, yes, sir. Come on, go get him, you guys.
Well, it's a bit unorthodox as usual, McHale, but great thinking.
Thank you, sir.
Great thinking. What about my spy, my prisoner?
Oh, belay that chatter. I'll attend to you later. Seaman Binghamton. Come on, McHale.
Seaman Binghamton?
Well, now, don't you worry about a thing, Wally. I'm going to put in a good word to Commander McHale, and if you're really willing to work, well, we can always use another enlisted man on the crew.
Hold it. I gotta make a speech. Well, congratulations, Fuge. We're sorry we have to toast you with plain old coconut juice, but we all know that the champagne went in a good cause.
Hey, jackpot, guys. Look what honest old Lester just found. Genuine Scotch hooch, 10 years old.
Oh, and just where did honest Lester find this genuine Scotch hooch?
Well, you see, there was a supply boat tied up in Mainside, Skip, and when the crew hit the chow line, I tippy-toed up on the deck.
No, I've seen it all. After what we just went through with that giggle water, you'd give Binghamton a second chance to put a noose around our neck?
Gee, Skip, if you feel that way about it, I'll just take the stuff right back.
You do, and I'll break every bone in that thick head of yours. This is a happy occasion.
Come on, guys. Let's go get him this time.
Hey, blasting Groove! There he is!
Yeah, enemy burning truck.
Get him.
Blasting Groove!
Forgot to load it.
I'd like to wring his neck. Oh, we missed him again. I'd like to wring his neck every morning.
Can't do this,
Not a way to wake up.
All right, how do you expect to shoot down enemy planes if you can knock off one griffle bird?
Well, he's tricky, Skip.
Oh, sure, he's tricky, Skip. 10 o'clock. I didn't join this man's name to get up before noon. Now, come on, boys. Let's hit the sack and see if we can try to get back to sleep.
Yeah, kid.
Well.
Oh, Captain Binghamton, sir. Attention, man. Attention.
Since when is the uniform of the day Dr. Denton's?
Dr. Denton.
Cut that out.
Sir, we were just having a little fire drill. Yes, sir.
That's right, sir. A little fire drill. Right, sir. All right, man. You did pretty good that time. But now, next time, let's not crowd around the fire escape.
Knock it off. Crowd around the fire escapes. I'd like to give you something to drill about. I'd like to set fire to this whole island. That's what I'd like to do. You nitwits were all in your sacks, weren't you? Well, Reveille happens to be at 0600 around here. And to help you remember that fact, I'm going to take away your beer ration for 1 week. I hear mumbling. There's mumbling going on here. Just for that, there'll be no beer for 2 weeks, and there'll be no movies, there'll be no liberties, and you're banned from the ship's store.
Oh, now, just a second, Captain. That's pretty rough punishment for just a...
It's going to get rougher, McHale. I want the paint chipped off that scow of yours, and I want it replaced with 2 coats of new paint, and I want it done within 48 hours.
48 hours? Well, that means my boys have to work night and day.
Oh, that's too bad. I'll send the chaplain over. He'll punch your little tickets.
Beg your pardon, sir. I think I lost mine.
Oh, shut up.
Just a minute, sir. Why are you putting the screws to us all of a sudden?
I'll be happy to tell you, McHale, inasmuch as you're the leader of these mattress commandos. Admiral Tucker is due in here next week for an inspection, and my fitness report depends upon it. So this would just better look like a naval base around here instead of a gang slumber party.
Yes, sir. You betcha, sir.
All right, you wise guys, just for that, 2 more weeks without beer.
But what are you celebrating?
The captain just lowered the boom on McHale and his gang. You should have seen him. It was beautiful.
I haven't been this happy since my wife left me for a week.
You know, you've been driving that 73 group pretty hard, Wally. You know you can overdo discipline.
Oh, nonsense. That bunch of pirates, they deserve everything I can dish out.
Listen, just the same, I'd be easy if I were you. I'd take it easy. You know those stories they tell?
What stories are those? What?
Well, you know the one. About the skipper in charge of the minesweep. The one that the crew called Old Iron Fist. Well, one night during a storm, Old Iron Fist just disappeared.
Oh, he probably just, he did washed overboard, probably.
Washed or pushed?
Oh, that's poppycock. That's a lot of bilge water. I've been listening to those stories for years. Ha!
I wouldn't laugh, Wally.
Ha!
I remember a skipper on a tin can. He was on a run to Hawaii. His crew put nitroglycerin in his cough syrup. Shook it up, bam! He was in Honolulu 3 days ahead of his ship.
One good thing, though. He wasn't troubled with his cough any longer.
What did he do to make his men hate him so much?
Well, he really cracked down. He took away their movies and their beer ration.
Carpenter, we've got work to do. We don't have time to sit around listening to this poppycock.
Captain, about all that punishment you dealt McHale and his men this morning, I was just thinking...
Carpenter, you are my aide, and you are not supposed to think. Don't pay attention to those stories. Nothing's going to happen to me.
But, sir, if you were ever shaking your syrup, I'd be standing right beside you with a teaspoon.
Teaspoon, you nitwit. Go ahead of me and see if the coast is clear.
When we requisition the paint, let's get some nitro. I'd like to blast that griffle bird right out of its feathers.
Nah, nitroglycerin's too good for that miserable fink.
Let's get some hand grenades, and when he comes around, we'll blow him from here to Tokyo.
You know what I'd rather do? I'd rather sneak up behind him and wring his neck with my bare hands.
Yeah, that has more of a personal touch. I'd like to get my hands on that scrawny little neck myself.
Yeah, that makes two of us, Tink.
Sir, did you hear what they said? They're out to get you.
Oh, poppycock, they wouldn't dare. That's just more talk. It's Bill's water.
Sir, maybe it wouldn't hurt to ease their punishment a little.
Nonsense. As a matter of fact, you and I are going to pay another little surprise visit to McHale and his 8 balls just to make sure that my orders are being carried out.
Oh, but, sir, you can't go over there. Didn't you see the look on those men's faces this morning?
How did they look at me? How? How dare you look at your commanding officer like that?
Oh, sir, I was just trying to...
Never mind, let's go. And if you ever bare your teeth at me like that again, I'll ship you home to the zoo.
Hurry it up, you guys. Come on. I can't see him, Skip.
Don't worry, he's up there. Hey, Skip, we're never gonna get that paint job done.
All right. In just a second, we're gonna nail us a griffle bird. Now, on your toes, everybody. Now, the minute that tree comes down here, pow, he's gotta fly out, then let him have it.
This is our big chance.
We'll clobber him.
We're almost at the clearing. Now, keep low so their lookout doesn't spot us.
She's just about ready, Skip. Okay, come on, let's stand back.
Whatever you do, don't show yourself. I still think they're out to get you.
Oh, but you cut that out. I told you they wouldn't. You're right, Carpenter. They're trying to kill me.
Don't let him get away!
They're a bunch of killers. They're murderers.
Zigzag, sir, so they can't draw a bead on you.
You're right, Carpenter. I'll think. Use that.
There he goes! Creep! Hey, throw a couple of grenades at him. Come on! Get!
Sir, they are after you.
You wear the hat with the braid.
We missed it.
We'll have to figure out something else. Come on, boys, let's get back and paint that boat.
Who's there?
Lieutenant Carpenter, sir. I have your dinner.
Oh, all right. Okay, you posted the security guard.
Yes, sir, and with fixed bayonets, sir. But, Captain, I still don't understand why you don't just throw McHale and his gang of murderers into the brig.
Oh, why don't you use that lump on your shoulders for something besides a hat rack? Admiral Tucker is coming here to give me a fitness report. Now, it could mean a promotion for me. How many captains do you know that become admirals while their men are trying to kill them?
And I can't say, sir, but I'll check Graves' registration and find out how many.
Shut up, you secretary. Sometimes I'd like to give you a good one. I'll poke at McHale and his men, all right, but after I get my fitness report from the admiral.
Oh, very clever. You are brilliant, sir.
Oh, brilliant. I don't need a fitness report from you.
Sir, why don't you just relax now and have some dinner? You haven't had a bite all day.
Well, frankly, I'm just not hungry.
But, sir, you have to keep up your strength. You might have to run again.
Suppose I should try and force something down.
Very fine, sir. Oh, sir, when you're finished, would you be kind enough to approve this requisition form from the supply officer?
What is it? Oh, he's all out of rat poison?
Yes, sir. He said that a couple of McHale's men cleaned him out.
What do you suppose they were with all that rat poison?
Sir?
Do these potatoes have a peculiar color?
Oh, sir, you don't think that McHale and his men would possibly try to
I don't know. I have to think. All I know is I'm definitely not hungry now. Definitely.
Sir, you have to eat something sometime. Captain Binghamton, you cannot go on being afraid, sir.
Carpenter, by Jove, you're right. One can't afford to be a coward, can one?
Oh, no, sir.
Aha, good boy. Have some mashed potatoes.
Oh, no, sir. Supposing it is loaded with rat poison, sir.
Well, isn't it better to die like a rat than to live like a coward, Carpenter? I'll see to it that you get the Navy Cross for giving up your life for your commanding officer.
Oh, Captain Binghamton, if anybody deserves the Navy Cross, it's you, sir.
I'll decide who gets the Navy Cross around here, Carpenter. Here, you eat. Swallow, boy. Swallow. No. I don't feel it going down. I don't feel it going down. Choo-choo. Swallow. I don't hear it. I don't hear it. Sit down. Huh? You feel anything?
Oh, yes, sir. Sharp pain.
Where is it?
My foot, sir. You're standing on it.
Thank you. Maybe you better try some more. After all, you're bigger than most rats, you know.
Oh, no, sir, please. I don't. You.
Get in there. Get in there and help yourself. Sit down here. You're going to love this.
No,
Here,
please.
take the fork, boy.
Please,
Take
sir, I'll
the
do
fork.
anything but...
Enjoy.
Oh, yes.
Halt and state your business.
Well, Lieutenant Commander McHale. Come on, you guys. What are you doing, playing war?
Sorry, sir. Captain's orders. Nobody passes without his permission.
Well, for Christ.
Captain! Captain Binghamton! Captain Binghamton!
What do you want, McHale? I know you're out there.
I came over to talk to you, sir, about the beer ration. The boys have been painting the boat, and it gets pretty hot out there, sir.
Not as hot as it's going to get, McHale. From now on, you and your men are restricted to your island.
Restricted? For what for? We haven't done anything, sir.
Not yet, you haven't. I'm going to keep it that way. Now, take off.
Oh, what a war.
That's telling him, sir.
You still alive?
Hi, Quinn.
Oh, hi, Molly. Say, Molly, you noticed anything peculiar about the old man lately?
I'll say. I went to his office an hour ago and he had me frisked.
Molly, what's the first sign that a man has been out here too long?
I begin to look good to him.
No, I'm not kidding.
You think I am?
Well, okay, but doggone it, I think the old man's about ready to flip. I wonder what's bugging him.
You must be kidding.
Huh?
Oh, you don't mean me and the boys.
Oh, let's face it, Quint. You've had almost as many skirmishes with the captain as you have with the Nips.
Yeah.
He's not getting any younger. I looked at his medical record. He'll be 47 years old tomorrow.
Doggone, his birthday, huh?
Yeah. Funny. You don't think of him as being born, just launched.
I got it. Supposing we give him a little surprise birthday party, you know, like show him we want to be friends.
Oh, great. Now you're the one who's flipping. You mean you're going to give old Lead Bottom a party?
Well, yeah.
You think the boys would spring for that?
Oh, sure. Oh, those guys are all right, doggone it. Listen, all I have to do is explain the captain's condition. They'll go right along with me. You kidding?
A party?
Well, that phony.
Are you kidding, Skip?
I wouldn't throw him a rope if he was drowning.
Now, wait a minute, you guys. The captain's in a bad way. He's about ready to go off the deep end.
Well, if he needs a push, you can count on me.
Oh, you talk, will you, Chuck?
All right, now look, you guys. After all, the captain is a human being. And tomorrow's his birthday, so I say we forget the past. I say forget that he tried to court-martial us, and that he gave us extra duty, and that he took away our movies, and that he took away our beer ration. I say tomorrow for his birthday, we all get together and string him up.
Oh, well, you're a big help. Come on, knock it off, you guys. Now, Fuji, you're in charge of the birthday cake.
Okay, I bake him a kamikaze cake. He lights candles and ba-ba-ba-boom!
Look, just make a plain cake, or I'll give you ba-ba-ba-boom.
Skip, even if you do want to give him a party, how are you going to get him out of his office? What do you do to get him over here?
Well, we'll just have to use a decoy. I'll get Molly and the gals to help out. That's what we'll do.
Skip, what do you want to have a party for that creep for anyway? There goes that other creep.
What a lousy war. I sign up to fight Nips, not a Binghamton or a Griffle bird.
All right, knock it off. Now, hear this, you guys. Now, tomorrow you're going to give the captain a birthday party. And then you're going to give him a birthday cake. And then you're going to sing for He's a Jolly Good Fellow. And you're going to do all this of your own free will and accord. And that's an order.
I'll sing, but not good.
Now listen, Susan. The guys are all set up on the island for a party. All they need is the guest of honor. And you're the one who's going to deliver.
Molly, if you just want to trick the captain into going to McHale's Island, I don't see why you can't do it.
I'm not built to trick anybody. Would you tell the captain that Lieutenant Larimer and Commander Turner would like to see him? And if you don't frisk me again, I'll report you to the Pentagon.
Well, I wouldn't stand by the window, so you make a perfect target.
Who's there? Who is it? Who?
Lieutenant Larimer and Commander Turner here to see you, sir.
Oh.
Permission to pass.
Well, what can I do for you charming ladies?
Oh, well, Captain, the nurses are having a picnic on the beach on the other side of the island, and I thought you might like to share my box lunch.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you, Lieutenant, but actually I was planning to stay in today.
Oh, it would do you good, sir, to get out in that fresh air and just breathe.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said for that breathing.
It just wouldn't be a picnic without you, sir.
Oh, I was counting on you being my partner in the three-legged race.
The thrill you're going to have one of those, too. That might do me some good at that. I've been a little tense lately. That fresh air might help me. Well, shall we go, ladies? Now, Carpenter.
Sir?
If Admiral Tucker wants me, you know where to find me. Well, girls, I can hardly wait to get out in that air and start that breathing.
Oh, you'll love it.
Yes.
Sir, I've been a little tense lately myself. I think maybe I could use some of that fresh air, too.
Yeah, well, stand by the window. All right, Lieutenant Breather. Lorimer, shall we go?
Oh, I'm just crazy about boat trips. I love to breathe that ocean air. You try it, Captain.
Somehow I don't think it would be the same if I... But you never can tell, you know. After you, my dear. Watch your step there. There we go. There we go. All right, sailor, shove off. Aye, aye, sir. Coxswain, we're going in the wrong direction. You're going towards McHale's Island, and Nurse's picnic is due west. Aye, aye, sir. Right rudder, 270 degrees. Aye, aye, sir.
The way you give orders just sends little shivers up and down my spine. There's so much in command.
You noticed that, huh? Well, that's the difference between a line officer and these 90-day wonders you see running around here. You see, when I give a command, I give a... Coxswain! I thought I told you right rudder 270 degrees. We're getting nearer to McHale's Island. That's right, sir. You're one of McHale's men. This is a trap. You're taking me to McHale's Island.
Yes, sir.
Hey, you turn this boat around. That's an order.
Aye, aye, sir. We just have enough gas to get to McHale's Island, sir.
You're lying. You're lying.
Oh, relax, Captain.
You're part of them, too. You inhaled me into this.
You're rocking the boat.
Get me out of here.
Captain, don't jump.
Take your hands off of me, you vampire, you.
I got him, Lieutenant. Don't let him get away.
Commander, tell me if you see the same thing I see.
Admiral Tucker, is that Captain Binghamton?
He's wrestling with a nurse. Strange what the tropics will do to a man.
Lieutenant, you take your fingernails out of me or I'll break you to civilians.
Hang on, Lieutenant. We're almost there.
Please, Captain, relax. Take a breath.
Oh, you're done with that breathing stuff again.
He's getting away. Go after him.
He won't get very far. That's our island he's on. I'd better report with the skipper.
Oh, he's swimming ashore and in full uniform.
And he left the nurse in the boat.
That man's a disgrace to the Navy. Commander, lower a boat. I'm going to investigate this.
That's the way it happened, Skip.
He jumped overboard? Oh, no.
We just couldn't stop him.
I had my arms around him, but it wasn't enough.
Would have been enough for me.
You know, Skip, the way the captain's happening, you'd think he was afraid of us.
Nah, you try and do a good deed. All right, you guys, let's go find our birthday boy. Excuse us, gals.
Hey, Doc Fairbanks, take it easy.
He swam ashore. He's got to be around here somewhere, Skip.
Yeah. All right, you guys, let's spread out there. Come on.
Let's move, you guys. We gotta track him down.
Don't worry, Skip. If we catch him, he won't get away this time.
Hey, Skip, there he is.
Hiya, Captain. Get away from me, McHale. You're not gonna get away with this. You're cutthroat.
No, wait a minute, Captain. We got a surprise for you.
I don't want any surprises. The United States Navy will track you down to the ends of the earth. No port's gonna be too small. My widow will see you hanging from a yard arm.
Your widow? What are you talking
I
about?
know. Parker. Thank goodness you're here, Parker. You're not like the rest of them. Tell me you're not in on this, boy.
Why not? I'm entitled to as much fun as anybody else. Tell him, Captain.
Here you are, Captain. Come on, boy. Here you go.
This should bring him around.
Yeah, Captain sure acts like he's scared of us. Oh, maybe he's too high-strung to surprise us. Christy, get that birthday cake. Let's get this over with.
Okay, Skip. Here's a knife to cut it with, Skip.
Oh, good, good.
Captain.
Hey, he's coming too.
Captain.
Where? Oh, McHale, it's you.
Hey, we got a surprise for you, Captain.
I see. I know.
He's fainted again.
Hey, we can't keep this guy conscious, Captain.
Oh, please, McHale, I don't want that.
Wait a minute. We got a surprise birthday party for you, sir.
Oh, what?
Here's the cake, Skip.
Yeah.
For he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, for he's a jolly good fellow, which nobody can deny.
You mean you're celebrating my birthday?
Well, we wanted to keep it a surprise, but you sure made it rough for us.
That's the reason for the boat, the jungle, and the breathing?
Well, sure. What'd you think?
Oh, I don't know what to think. I'm so tired.
It's the griffle bird. He's back. I'll get my rifle.
Man, your battle stations, man. I'm sorry to break up your party, Captain, but boy, we've been after that bird all week. He's been driving us batty.
You've been trying to kill a bird?
Well, sure, we used everything from hand grenades to rat poison.
You've been trying to get rid of a little birdie?
Yeah, that's him. He sure is horrible, isn't he?
Horrible. That's the most wonderful sound I've ever heard in my life. All right, you fellas, you stand back there. Let me have a crack at him.
Captain. There he goes again. Well, boys, Captain Binghamton got his fitness report, and we got our beer ration back. Drink up, boys.
Boy, it's a good thing that Admiral Tugger had a sense of humor, boy.
Yeah, we're in luck all around. Looks like the griffle bird's gone, too. Haven't seen him around in hours.
To the griffle bird and to Binghamton. 2 birds off our back in one day.
Hey, Skip. Captain Binghamton on the squawk box wants to talk to you.
Okay, Willie. Shh. Climb up, boys. Hello, Captain. Oh, Captain, we got some good news for you. We're not going to be bothered with that griffle bird anymore. He's gone.
And I know where he went.
We had him right in our sights. All I had to do was fire a torpedo. And those bullets started hitting around us, and I just froze.
Forget it. What's done is done. Come on, I'll buy you a beer. Come on.
Oh, Captain. Just a minute, please, sir.
What is it? What?
The dynamite charges are placed, sir. Request permission to blow up the tree stumps as ordered, sir.
All right. Blow.
Yes, sir.
Get that out. What kind of a navy do you think I'm running here?
Oh, sorry, sir. Good day, sir.
It was up till now.
Kamikaze!
Shut.
Parker! What in the devil is the matter with you?
Please try to control yourself, Ensign. We are simply dynamiting a few tree stumps.
Oh, well, I thought that there was...
Think it all. You panicked.
Oh, no, wait a minute, Captain. He didn't panic. He was instinctively trying to protect our beloved commanding officer.
Oh, knock that off, McHale. If that was a real air raid, there isn't a man in your outfit that wouldn't slam the shelter door right in my face.
Oh, no.
And as for you, Parker, I'm going to put it in your fitness report that you've got a gold stripe on your shoulder and a big yellow one right down your back.
Oh, but sir...
Get out of here. Out.
Yes, sir. Oh, very good, sir. That's telling him. Imagine an officer of the United States Navy cracking up over a little thing like that.
What was that?
Just toward the tree stump, sir.
How?
Must have been a delayed fuse.
Yes, I suppose. Put me down. What's the idea of grabbing me like this? Pull yourself together, Lieutenant. You are a disgrace. Hey, come on, boy. Now, snap out of it. Don't pay any attention to the old man. He's just talking to his gold braid anyway.
No. What he said is true, Skip. I'm a coward. I'm telling you, when that nip PT boat hit us, well, I was just terrified. You may as well know. Every time we've gone into action, I've been scared stiff.
Well, welcome to the club, Chuck.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Oh, look, boy, we're all scared. Any guy who says he doesn't get the yips under fire is just a liar or just plain stupid.
Oh, now, don't tell me you get scared.
I get butterflies as big as bats. Well, sure. You know, being scared doesn't make you a coward. When the old ice hits the belly, that's when you gotta take charge. Lick it before it licks you. Think positive, boy. Charge ahead. Look, when you're attacking, you can't retreat, can you?
Hey, yeah, that makes sense.
So just lay it in there tough, boy. The next time it happens, just remember, gutsy is as gutsy does.
Hey, Skip, you got it. Yeah, that makes sense. Hey, boy, why didn't I think of that? Hey, look, Skip, anytime you have any problems, I mean, you know, career-wise, well, just come to me and we'll talk them out.
Oh, thanks, Chuck. As a matter of fact, there is something you can do for me. I wonder if you take the boat out and check number 2 engine.
Oh, sure, Skip, sure. I'll get it, yeah. Hey, boy. Gutsy is as gutsy does. Boy, I love that kind of talk. Tinker, don't sneak up on me like that. Don't you know we're in enemy waters?
Sorry, Mr. Parker. I just want to know if you think she's running okay.
What? Oh, yeah, that number 2 engine sounds pretty good. Hey, wait a minute, isn't there a rattle in the number 1?
I doubt it, so we're only running on number 2.
Well, then you're wrong. Christy, take her back to the barn. Hard to starboard. Or port, whichever one's shortest.
Hey, Mr. Parker, I've got a hot one on the sonar, bearing 092.
Hey, there she blows, an enemy sub.
Where?
Just off the point of that island.
Hey! It's a German U-boat! U-boat? Oh, come on. There ain't any U-boats in these parts.
I'm telling you, it's a U-boat. I know a U when I see one. You know, it's like a V, only it's got a round bottom on it.
What's a U-boat doing around here?
Well, what are we doing around here? Tinker! All full ahead. No, I mean that way. Yeah.
I got you, sir. Oh, boy, wait till the skipper hears about this.
Yeah, when a skipper finds it, Hey, belay that, Tinker! Oh, wait a minute, you guys. We gotta lick this before it licks us. Gutsy is as gutsy does. All right, you guys, battle stations. We're gonna attack.
Attack? Mr. Parker, that U-boat has a 5-inch gun. It'll blow us right out of the water.
What's the matter? Ice hitting your belly, kid? Well, hang in there tough, boy.
Stand by to fire torpedoes.
What's the range?
No time for that now. Fire one, fire two.
Tough luck, Mr. Parker. We missed him.
Yes, sir. You were just a speck wide to the left, say about 400 yards.
Well, it wasn't a complete loss. At least we got a piece of the island.
Hi, Captain. You sent for me?
I not only sent for you, McHale, I sent for your entire gang of Japanese secret weapons. Now, where are they? Where?
Oh, well, sir, the crew isn't back yet. You see, Ensign Parker's out checking number 2 engine.
Ensign Parker, you let that juvenile delinquent loose on the high seas with an armed vessel of the United States Navy?
Well, yes, sir, but that's it. There's no trouble.
That does it. You're responsible. You're included in the charges, too.
Charges? Now, wait a minute, Captain. Well, what happened?
Oh, you're gonna love this one, McHale. This is a real grabber, this is. That chicken-livered ensign of yours, he no doubt was frightened by a seagull. And he fired off 2 torpedoes and he blew off the tip of Honolulu Island right there.
No, are you sure? It looks all right to me, sir.
Stop with the jokes, McHale. Looks all right to you. I have a report from the native chief on that island as of this moment. His people are right up to their little suntan navels in shredded coconut.
Well, now, don't get steamed up, Captain. Now, I'm sure it was just an accident.
Ah, stow the excuses, McHale. The Navy has had it with you and your rat pack. You're confined to your quarters pending the court-martial.
Court-martial?
Ensign Parker reporting with information for naval intelligence. Hey, hi, Skip. Hi. Hey, you'll never guess what I just took a shot at. Hi, Captain.
Shut up. You're under arrest.
Under arrest? For what?
Stow it, Chuck. The captain already knows about you blowing up that island.
Oh, that? Oh, well, that's not the important thing. The only reason we hit the island is because we missed the U-boat.
What? At least he admits he's responsible for... a U-boat?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That stands for Unterseeboot. That's German, with an umlaut.
I know what that stands for. I'd kick you right in your umlaut coming into a phony story like that.
Well, Chuck, are you sure it was a U-boat?
Oh, Skip, I saw a U-boat. Scout's honor.
That's the most ridiculous thing I ever heard of. Any gibbering fool knows there's no U-boats in these waters. Parker, that is absolutely the most ridiculous. I'm busy. I don't... Oh, yeah, well, why didn't you say it was the admiral? What are you waiting for? Put him on.
Chuck, couldn't you dream up a better story than a German sub?
Skip, I'm telling you, I saw a U-boat.
Clam up! No, not you, Admiral. Yes, sir. How are you, sir? Yes, I'm listening, sir.
Well, listen good, Binghamton. This is urgent. I want to alert you to some trouble in your area.
I already know about the trouble, Admiral, and I've got the culprit right here, sir. It's one of McHale's men. No, I want you both to listen to this. Huh? It was Ensign Parker, Admiral, and you know how he tried to alibi his way out of it. Said he saw a U-boat.
What are you cackling about? He undoubtedly did.
I'm sure he undoubtedly would. Would you repeat that, Admiral, sir?
I said he undoubtedly did see a U-boat. That's the emergency I'm calling about. I'm glad somebody down there is on the ball. You, Parker, are well done.
Yes, sir. Well done.
Now hear this, Binghamton. Get Commander McHale on this right away. Sink that U-boat.
Yes, sir. Sink that U-boat. Yes, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Just a minute. Admiral Reynolds, Ensign Parker here. Listen, thank you very much for the well done. And, Admiral, I want you to know that we're behind you.
Goodbye, Admiral. Yes, sir. Goodbye, sir.
And we're shoving off right now, sir. Captain, thanks for letting us listen in.
Bye.
Hey, Skip, Mr. Parker tell you about the U-boat?
He sure did. We're going after that Dutchman right now. Take her. Turn him over. Let go aft.
Hold it, McHale. Hold it, McHale. I'm going with you. I'm going to take command of this mission personally.
Oh, well, you're the boss, sir, but to what do we owe this great honor, sir? Did Admiral Reynolds hit a nerve?
Oh, knock it off. I'll tell you why I'm going with you, McHale. I'm sick and tired of you lucking into all the glory.
Oh, not me, sir. Mr. Parker's the man of the hour.
Oh, Skip, it's nothing. Any gutsy officer would have done the same. Listen, I'm behind you all the way, Wally, and maybe you'll get a well done, too.
Get your hands off me. Get this garbage cow rolling.
Yes, sir. Garbage cow rolling aft.
Chuck. Is this about where you sighted that sub?
Well, that's the island, Skip, but it doesn't look the same as it does on the chart.
How could it? You blew one end of it off.
Only 2 islands in this area, sir, with coves big enough to handle an enemy sub. Kokani and Malura.
All right, Parker, you and I'll take Kakani. McHale, you take the boat and you cover that other place. This time, if you get lucky, you're gonna get lucky with me.
Oh, now, wait a minute, Captain. It's not a question of luck. It's just a question of not letting the old ice hit your belly. You gotta lick this before it licks you.
Oh, knock it off. And quit talking to me like I was an ice cream cone. Cover me.
What's the matter, Captain? Couple of Germans. Let's get out of here. Go away there, Captain.
Shh. What's the matter? Butterflies, huh? Big as bats? Well, welcome to the club, fella.
What?
Now, look, Captain. Being scared is nothing to be ashamed of. The best of us get scared at times. But a little trick that separates the men from the girls is what you do about it.
Just call me Mabel. Bye.
You're gonna attack.
Was ist denn los hier?
Well, that'll teach those krauts to stay out of my territory, huh? Well, take a look around, see if there's any more of them.
See, Captain, it worked. We moved ahead. We licked it before it licked us.
Oh, shut up, you pea-brain. Can't you carry out a simple assignment? Do I have to do everything myself?
What'd I do wrong?
You knocked out this German officer. I want to question him. I want to find out what is he doing here.
Here. Come on, Fritzy boy. Come on. Wake up, boy. Come on.
All right, he's coming to. Question him.
Sprechen Sie Deutsch?
Oh, you Sprechen Sie. Of course he's Sprechen Sie. He's German, isn't he? They all Sprechen Sie over there. Find out if he's off that U-boat and what is he doing here? That's what I want to know.
Jawohl, ja. Unterseeboot. Gediven. Mit der Umlauf. Is that the Ringency Bell?
Oh, his name. I want to know his name with the Ringency Bell.
Well, I'll ask you.
Well, do that.
What Nomen haben Sie? You know, like, what's your name?
Schweinehund.
Lieutenant Schweinhund. Here. Glad to meet you. Sorry we
No
couldn't...
clamhead, that isn't his name. He just called you a dirty dog. And he's right.
Well, now, look, Mac. You better watch your language, because you're not messing around with kids.
Hey, Captain, Japanese fuel barge. The beach is crawling with nips.
Oh, that can't be. Come on, quick, we gotta get out of here.
We're fall apart in a hurry, Captain.
Mr. Ryan, we're outnumbered. We gotta make a run for it.
Negative, sir. Now, look, if the Nips spotted us, why, when the skipper and the rest of the guys in the 73 came back, they'd be sitting ducks.
What are we gonna do? What?
Well, now, look, we gotta think positive. We gotta lick this before it licks us.
Don't start with that licking again. I'm gonna strangle you.
Well, now... Hey, I got it. Tinker, help me out with this guy's uniform. Come on.
Das kommt ja gar nicht in Frage, Mr. Skip.
Knock it over. Okay, straighten up there, sailor. You're in the German Navy now.
Look, Mr. Parker, the only German I know is by me, Mr. Shane.
Don't worry about a thing. Whatever I say, you just say jawohl. You okay, Captain?
Of course I'm not. Parker, untie me. I've changed my mind. I don't want to be a prisoner of war.
No, Captain, there are only 2 uniforms, and, well, this is the only way I can save you from the Nips.
How did I ever let you tuck me into a thing like this?
Now, this is our only chance. We just gotta bluff this thing through.
Oh. Mr. Parker, the nip's coming. Jawohl, jawohl.
I've been out of my mind. Get me out of here.
Just relax, Captain. You gotta think positive.
Jawohl, jawohl.
Achtung! Gesundheit! Ja! Herr Lieutenant Johann Sebastian Bach, Deutschland, Unterseeboot, gediven! Ja. Wiener Schnitzel. Ja. Sauerbraten. Aktu liberal gestiegen. Zum Jawohl. So sorry, I do not speak German. Do you speak English? English. Ja, sprechen Sie English? Ja. No. You have taken American prisoner. Well, Captain, how you capture such important officer?
He was sole survivor of ship we could sink. Yeah. He refused to go down with the ship. Yeah. He big yellow belly.
He big?
I can see your fella. He is on my prisoner, and I demand my rights under the Geneva Convention. Fine, hon.
Oi, now, to business. My men are unloading the fuel oil. When will U-boat be here?
Well, there has been change in plans. Yeah. So you take in your men and go back to your base at once. Schnell! That means hurry up.
But I am to make rendezvous with a U-boat.
Well, they won't be here for some time. No. Maybe 3 weeks. Yeah. So you take in your men and shoving the open.
Oh, sorry. I have orders to wait for U-boat. I stay. いつでも給油作業ができるように待機してろ。
It's your fault we stay here. Why didn't you get on with the ship?
Uh-oh. Oh, there's something on the beach, all right, but it ain't no lead bottom. Take her around to the other side of the island quick before they spot us.
What's up, Skip?
A nip landing party. It looks like Mr. Parker's luck has run out. Come on, let's get out of here, quick.
Boy, is that a weird setup?
Those crazy guys, they're trying to bluff their way out of a spot.
What do we do, Skip? Going for a shootout?
No, that's no good. They can't take a chance on our boys getting hurt.
Hey, Skip, we got company.
Holy jumping torpedoes. It's the German U-boat.
They must have come back to refuel.
What a time for them to show up.
Oh, brother, if they get to our boys, they're goners. Gruber, you come with me. The rest of you guys cover us. Come on.
Jawohl, die Japaner haben alles fertig gemacht. Kommen Sie mit mir.
Hey, group, get in this uniform.
Huh? Me in a Nazi uniform? Oh, come on, Skip. If I gotta change size, let me go Japanese.
Get into this uniform. Look, you gotta get into their camp and keep those nips off the beach. Stall them. I don't care how you do it, but stall them until I give you the high sign. Hey, the rest of you guys go back to the boat and rustle up a couple of depth charges. We're gonna go into the oil business. Come on, boys, let's go.
Come, Schultz.
What do you say? What? Your U-boat has returned.
Good. That is that U-boat. Mein U-boat. Yeah. Oh, boy.
Yes, it is lying just offshore.
Achtung! Heil Hitler! Pfui!
Gruber!
Herr Kommandant Gruber zu you, Schweinhund!
Commandant Gruber, welcome. Yeah. I do mean welcome. Oh, boy.
Dankeschön. We got a gestall on the Ipsnays.
Yeah, gestohlen Sie. Yeah, I will have my man load the oil.
Oh, not yet. I mean, horsen Sie an. Herr Commandant Gruber is in charge here. He will tell you when he's ready. You want to interrogate the prisoner?
Oh, yeah, jawohl!
Ja.
Ist das nicht der Kapitän?
Ja, das ist der Kapitän.
Ist das nicht der Great Big Stunk?
Ja, das ist der Great Big Stunk.
Ist das nicht der Bottom Lad?
Ja, das ist der Bottom Lad.
Kapitän?
Great Big Stunk.
Bottom Lad.
Oh, wie schön ist, Schnitzelbach.
Oh, wie schön
It's always sing when we're happy. One more time.
I set the timer for 45 minutes, right, Skip?
Yeah, right.
Oh, folks, you can't tell a depth charge from an oil drum without a scorecard.
Well, that's the name of the game, baby. Once these babies get on board. Guapo. Guapo, boy. That submarine will be nothing but alphabet soup. Okay, that one's all done. Okay, Burge, pass the word, will you? Right, let's get...
The Azure Anchors, The Chronicles of Captain Sterling and the Commodore's Ulcer. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Impending Doom. The sun over the archipelago of Isla del Sol didn't just shine. It interrogated. It beat down on the corrugated tin roofs of the naval outpost with the persistence of a debt collector, turning the barracks into ovens and the officers' club into a lukewarm sauna. Commodore Barnaby, Iron Liver Blaster, sat behind his mahogany desk, which was currently vibrating. The vibration wasn't due to an earthquake, but rather the sheer intensity of his own rising blood pressure. He was staring at a requisition form that seemed to defy the laws of military necessity. Garter belts, Blaster whispered, his voice trembling like a leaf in a hurricane. Sterling, you are the supply officer of this god-forsaken rock. If the nurses need garter belts to keep their stockings from migrating to their ankles, then you snap to it. You shake a leg, or... You know what I mean? His subordinate, Lieutenant Commander Silas Snide, a man whose spine was made of 40% sycophancy and 60% wet noodle, nodded vigorously. Exactly, sir. A snapped leg is a happy leg. But, sir, we have a more pressing matter. A message from the Admiralty. Blaster's face, already a shade of ripe beetroot, turned a ghostly parchment white. Don't say it. If you say the word inspection, I will have you court-martialed for emotional distress. Admiral Grim Reaper Gravely is arriving today, sir. A sneak inspection. Blaster collapsed into his chair. His stomach acid, he often claimed, was potent enough to start a diesel engine. He reached for a bottle of white pills, tossing them into his mouth like popcorn. The base is a shambles, Snide. The sinks in the petty officers' lounge are backing up with something that looks like swamp gas. The men are wearing floral shirts instead of uniforms, and somewhere on this island, Captain Lucky Leo Sterling is probably running a gambling ring involving hermit crabs. Suddenly, the phone rang. Blaster snatched it up. Hello. Yes, this is Commodore Blaster. Who did you expect? Tokyo Rose? The sinks are backing up? So what? I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. Fix it yourself. He slammed the phone down and gripped his stomach. Snide, I feel it, the big one. If I were truly medically incapacitated, I could appoint an acting base commander, someone to take the heat from the admiral. Snide's eyes lit up. Sir, you mean Julian? No, wait, not Sterling. If you put Lucky Leo in charge, he'll destroy the base. Blaster's eyes twinkled with a malicious, medicinal glow. Exactly. He and his band of sun-drenched scoundrels will run wild. They'll commit professional suicide right in front of the Admiral. I'll look like a tragic bedridden hero, and Sterling will be shipped to the Antarctic in chains. Snide, call the medic. I'm dying. I'm practically a corpse. Right away, sir. Medic, medic. The Commodore has finally succumbed to his own personality. Chapter 2. The Ascension of Lucky Leo. Captain Lucky Leo Sterling was a man who viewed the Navy's rulebook not as a law, but as a series of polite suggestions that didn't apply to him. He was currently lounging on his boat, the Misfit, 7-3, watching his crew attempt to grill a stolen ham using a radar dish. "Skipper!" shouted Monty, the crew's resident grease monkey. "The Commodore's in the hospital. Snide says he's got tropical melancholia and a spasmodic colon." Leo stood up, adjusting his weathered cap. "Melancholia. That's just bluster speak for the Admiral is coming. Let's go pay our respects." They found the Commodore in the infirmary, draped over a bed like a wilted lily. Beside him, Lieutenant Percival Puch Pringle, Leo's executive officer, and a man who could trip over a shadow, was looking concerned. "Oh, Leo," Bluster moaned, his acting skills reaching Shakespearean levels of ham. "I'm in bad shape. The doctors, they don't know. It could be months, I need someone to take over. Snide is. Well, Snide is a boob. I'm appointing you, Leo. You are the acting base commander. Leo froze. Me? Behind a desk? Commodore, I'm a saltwater man. My skin turns to scales if I stay on land too long. Nonsense! Bluster coughed pathetically. And Pudge here. I'm making him the acting executive officer. Go. Take command. It's an order. Pudge beamed. Did you hear that, Skipper? I'm an exec. I'll get a bigger hat, maybe even one with a gold chin strap. As they left, Leo turned to his crew. Boys, we've just been handed the keys to the candy store. But remember, where there's a bluster, there's a trap. Back at the command center, the transformation was instantaneous. Leo didn't just command, he liberated. Leo didn't just command. Leo didn't just command. He liberated. The sinks are plugged, Chief. A distraught petty officer cried into the phone. Don't tell me. Pudge barked into the receiver, trying to look important. And tell the Seabees that if the rifle range is in the way of their new volleyball court, they should just keep their heads down. The base turned into a whirlwind of productive chaos. Leo's crew, sensing the lack of oversight, decided to throw a cultural exchange gala, which was basically a high-stakes poker game with hula dancers and illegal pineapple moonshine. Chapter 3, The Maharaja and the Hula Trap. The Commodore, watching through binoculars from his hospital window, was ecstatic. Look at them snide. They've turned Isla del Sol into a Roman orgy. Admiral Gravely will have them all in the brig by sunset. But the plot thickened. A message arrived. The Maharaja of Marigold was arriving. His plane had developed engine trouble, and he was stranded on a nearby island with his 3 beautiful daughters and a priceless cargo. Snide, Bluster hissed. McHale, I mean. Sterling has to rescue him. If Sterling messes up a diplomatic mission, it's not just a court-martial. It's an international incident. Leo and his crew raced the misfit, 7-3 to the rescue. They found the Maharaja, a dignified man in silk robes, standing amidst a mountain of luggage. I am the Maharaja, he announced. Are you the men sent to transport my daughters and my treasure? Wowie, wow, wow, Monty whispered, staring at the 3 princesses who looked like they had stepped out of a dream. I heard that, the Maharaja barked. The next man who dares to debase the dignity of my daughters will answer to my scimitar. Leo stepped forward smoothly. Your Highness, ignore him. In our country, wowie is an ancient naval term for welcome. My executive officer, Pudge, will personally handle your luggage. Pudge, attempting to bow, managed to drop a trunk onto his own foot, causing him to hop around like a wounded kangaroo. Welcome, ow, charmed, eek. On the return trip, the Maharaja was fascinated by the boat. Such a nimble craft. If my kingdom had a navy, I would want 1,000 of these. Would you like to steer, sir? Leo offered. May I? The Maharaja took the wheel. Within seconds, the misfit, 7-3, was zigzagging across the ocean like a drunken dragonfly. Back at the base, Commodore Bluster had prepared a welcoming dinner. He was determined to catch Leo in the act of being... Well, Leo, I've invited the Maharaja to a formal dinner, Bluster told Snide, and I've ensured the princesses are housed in the air raid shelter because the barracks are under renovation. When Gravely sees the base commander is housing royalty in a hole in the ground while a party is raging next door, the game is over. But the dinner was a disaster of a different kind. Leo's crew, fearing the Maharaja would realize they had accidentally borrowed his daughters for a hula lesson earlier, decided to improvise. They dressed Pudge and 2 other crew members in veils and silks, hoping to pass them off as the princesses during the dance performance. The Maharaja watched, squinting through the smoke of his hookah. My daughters. They seem to have developed. Very muscular, calves. And is that a 5 o'clock shadow on the youngest one? Commodore Bluster couldn't contain himself. He leapt up and ripped the veil off the middle princess. Aha, it's Pringo. Your Highness, this man is an impostor. Captain Sterling is mocking you. The Maharaja stood up, his face thunderous. This is an outrage. My daughters are in the air raid shelter? And you have sailors in drag dancing for me? Captain, your behavior will be reported to Washington. Leo stepped in, his voice calm. Your Highness, please. The Commodore has been under a lot of stress. He's been seeing things. Hallucinations. High blood pressure. He thinks everyone is an alligator or a princess. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Maneuver. The situation reached a breaking point. Commodore Bluster, now fully recovered from his fake illness, had convened a fitness board. He was determined to strip Pudge of his commission for general incompetence and high-velocity stupidity. The board arrives tomorrow, Bluster cackled. And Pringle is going to be a seaman second class by noon. Leo knew they needed a miracle. Or, more accurately, a chemistry experiment. Monty, Leo said, looking at a tank in the infirmary. Nitrous oxide, skipper, laughing gas. The dentist uses it. If we can get that gas into the Commodore's office during the hearing, Leo mused, he might just become the most pleasant man on earth. The day of the hearing arrived. Admiral Shoemaker, a stern man with a face like a granite cliff, presided. Bluster was ready to deliver the final blow. Admiral, Bluster began, this officer, Pringle, is a menace. He once torpedoed a garbage scow because he thought it was a camouflage submarine. Suddenly, a faint hissing sound came from the vents. Leo's crew was outside, pumping the laughing gas through the window. Bluster stopped mid-sentence. His eyes widened. A small, involuntary giggle escaped his lips. And, the garbage scow. It was tee-hee. It was covered in potato peels. Ha ha ha, potato peels. Can you imagine? The irony. The Admiral stared. Commodore, are you quite all right? All right? I'm wonderful. Everything is wonderful. Pudge, Chucky Wucky. Come here, you big, beautiful galoot. Bluster ran over and hugged Pudge, who was too terrified to move. Admiral, I want to cancel the hearing. Promote him. Give him a medal. Give everyone a medal. Bluster began to dance. He grabbed a pair of ornamental hula hoops from the wall and started gyrating. I'm a butterfly. A beautiful, bureaucratic butterfly. The Admiral turned to Leo. Sterling, what is the meaning of this? Combat fatigue, sir, Leo said, shaking his head sadly. The Commodore has been under a lot of strain. He sees hula girls everywhere. He thinks he's a winged insect. It's tragic, really, the Admiral sighed. Clearly. Take him back to the hospital. And as for Pringle, if a man can stand in the face of such madness and remain calm, he's got a future in the Navy. Chapter 5. Gus the Alligator and the Final Payoff. Peace, or a reasonable facsimile of it, returned to Isla del Sol. That was until Pudge found a new friend. Skipper, look, I found a mascot. Pudge led a 6-foot alligator into the barracks. The beast was wearing a small naval cap. Pudge, Leo groaned. That's an alligator. It eats people. His name is Gus. And he loves peanut butter. Look, he's smiling. That's not a smile, Pudge. That's a measurement of your head. Meanwhile, Commodore Bluster had a new scheme. He had received the base payroll, $62,000, in small, unmarked bills. He decided to bait a trap. He would leave his wallet, stuffed with marked $100 bills, in a place where Leo's crew would surely steal it. When they take the money, Bluster told Snide, we'll catch them with the serial numbers. It's foolproof. He dropped the wallet near the beach and hid in the bushes. Suddenly, Gus the alligator waddled by. Gus, spotting the leather wallet, decided it looked like a very fancy snack. Snap! The wallet vanished down Gus's throat. My wallet! Bluster screamed, running out of the bushes. That lizard stole my $900. He chased Gus right into Leo's barracks. Sterling, your dinosaur ate my money. I'm having you all arrested for grand larceny by proxy. A court-martial was convened. Bluster was the accuser, the judge, and the star witness. I intend to prove, Bluster shouted, that this beast was trained by Sterling to pick pockets. I want my $900 back, and I want these men in the brig. Leo stood up. Your Honor, we have no money. Gus acts on his own. If the money is in the alligator, you'll have to wait for nature to take its course. I can't wait, Bluster yelled. I want a mistrial. I want an X-ray. I want justice. Suddenly, Gus let out a loud, wet belch. Out of his mouth flew a soggy, leather object. It landed right on the admiral's desk. The admiral opened the wallet. Commodore, there's no $900 in here. There's just your ID card and a very chewed-up picture of your mother-in-law. But, Bluster stammered. Wait, Pudge cried. Look, Gus began to thrash around. From the other end of the alligator, a series of green papers began to flutter out. Leo's crew scrambled to catch them. It's the payroll, Monty shouted. The crooks who actually stole the payroll must have hidden it in the old cannon on the beach, and Gus must have eaten it when he was looking for more peanut butter. The admiral counted the soggy bills. $62,000. Every cent is here. Captain Sterling, it seems your mascot has saved the Navy's treasury. He turned to Bluster, who was currently being chased around the room by a very hungry-looking Gus. Commodore, perhaps you should spend less time setting traps and more time studying zoology. Epilogue. The sun sets on the azure sea. The Misfit, 7-3, sat in the harbor, the crew finally enjoying their stolen ham. Pudge was sitting on the bow, feeding Gus a jar of extra crunchy peanut butter. You know, Skipper, Pudge said, I think I'm getting the hang of this officer thing. Leo looked at the horizon, where the sunset turned the azure sea into a sheet of liquid gold. In the distance, he could hear the faint, high-pitched scream of Commodore Bluster, who had accidentally walked under a ladder and was now convinced he was cursed for the next 7 years. Pudge, Leo smiled. As long as the Commodore has an ulcer and we have a boat, we're going to be just fine. And so, the azure anchors stayed firm, held in place by a mixture of luck, laughter, and the occasional well-timed belch of an alligator. The end. The Azure Anchors. The Chronicles of Captain Sterling and the Commodore's Ulcer. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis and the Impending Doom. The sun over the archipelago of Isla del Sol didn't just shine, it interrogated. It beat down on the corrugated tin roofs of the naval outpost with the persistence of a debt collector, turning the barracks into ovens and the officers' club into a lukewarm sauna. Commodore Barnaby Iron Liver Blaster sat behind his mahogany desk, which was currently vibrating. The vibration wasn't due to an earthquake, but rather the sheer intensity of his own rising blood pressure. He was staring at a requisition form that seemed to defy the laws of military necessity. Garter belts, Bluster whispered, his voice trembling like a leaf in a hurricane. Sterling, you are the supply officer of this god-forsaken rock. If the nurses need garter belts to keep their stockings from migrating to their ankles, then you snap to it. You shake a leg. Or, you know what I mean. His subordinate, Lieutenant Commander Silas Snide, a man whose spine was made of 40% sycophancy and 60% wet noodle, nodded vigorously. Exactly, sir. A snapped leg is a happy leg. But, sir, we have a more pressing matter. A message from the Admiralty. Bluster's face, already a shade of ripe beetroot, turned a ghostly parchment white. Don't say it. If you say the word inspection, I will have you court-martialed for emotional distress. Admiral Grim Reaper Gravely is arriving today, sir. A sneak inspection. Bluster collapsed into his chair. His stomach acid, he often claimed, was potent enough to start a diesel engine. He reached for a bottle of white pills, tossing them into his mouth like popcorn. The base is a shambles, Snide. The sinks, in the petty officer's lounge, are backing up with something that looks like swamp gas. The men are wearing floral shirts instead of uniforms. And somewhere on this island, Captain Lucky Leo Sterling is probably running a gambling ring involving hermit crabs. Suddenly, the phone rang. Bluster snatched it up. Hello. Yes, this is Commodore Bluster. Who did you expect? Tokyo Rose? The sinks are backing up? So what? I'm the commanding officer, not a plumber. Fix it yourself. He slammed the phone down and gripped his stomach. Snide, I feel it, the big one. If I were truly medically incapacitated, I could appoint an acting base commander, someone to take the heat from the admiral. Snide's eyes lit up. Sir, you mean? Julian? No, wait, not Sterling. If you put Lucky Leo in charge, he'll destroy the base. Bluster's eyes twinkled with a malicious, medicinal glow. Exactly. He and his band of sun-drenched scoundrels will run wild. They'll commit professional suicide right in front of the admiral. I'll look like a tragic, bedridden hero, and Sterling will be shipped to the Antarctic in chains. Snide, call the medic. I'm dying. I'm practically a corpse. Right away, sir. Medic. Medic. The Commodore has finally succumbed to his own personality. Chapter 2. The Ascension of Lucky Leo. Captain Lucky Leo Sterling was a man who viewed the Navy's rulebook not as a law, but as a series of polite suggestions that didn't apply to him. He was currently lounging on his boat, the Misfit, 7-3, watching his crew attempt to grill a stolen ham using a radar dish. "Skipper," shouted Monty, the crew's resident grease monkey. "The Commodore's in the hospital." Snide says he's got tropical melancholia and a spasmodic colon. Leo stood up, adjusting his weathered cap. Melancholia? That's just bluster speak for. "The Admiral is coming. Let's go pay our respects." They found the Commodore in the infirmary, draped over a bed like a wilted lily. Beside him, Lieutenant Percival Pudge Pringle, Leo's executive officer, and a man who could trip over a shadow was looking concerned. "Oh, Leo," Bluster moaned, his acting skills reaching Shakespearean levels of ham. "I need someone to take over." Snide is a boob. "I'm appointing you, Leo. You are the acting base commander." Leo froze. "Me? Behind a desk? Commodore, I'm a saltwater man." "Nonsense," Bluster coughed pathetically. "And Pudge here, I'm making him the acting executive officer. Go. Take command. It's an order." Pudge beamed. "Did you hear that, Skipper? I'm an exec. I'll get a bigger hat. Maybe even one with a gold chin strap." As they left, Leo turned to his crew. "Boys, we've just been handed the keys to the candy store. But remember, where there's a bluster, there's a trap." Back at the command center, the transformation was instantaneous. Leo didn't just command, he liberated. "The sinks are plugged, Chief." A distraught petty officer cried into the phone. "Don't tell me," Pudge barked into the receiver, trying to look important. "Do I look like a plumber?" "Wait, I'm the exec." "Yes, send the garter belts to the nurses immediately, and tell the Seabees that if the rifle range is in the way of their new volleyball court, they should just keep their heads down." The base turned into a whirlwind of productive chaos. Leo's crew, sensing the lack of oversight, decided to throw a cultural exchange gala, which was basically a high-stakes poker game with hula dancers and illegal pineapple moonshine. Chapter 3. The Maharaja and the Hula Trap. The Commodore, watching through binoculars from his hospital window, was ecstatic. "Admiral Gravely will have them all in the brig by sunset," but the plot thickened. A message arrived. The Maharaja of Marigold was arriving. His plane had developed engine trouble, and he was stranded on a nearby island with his 3 beautiful daughters and a priceless cargo. "Snide," Bluster hissed. "McHale. Sterling has to rescue him. If Sterling messes up a diplomatic mission, it's not just a court-martial. It's an international incident." Leo and his crew raced the Misfit, 7-3 to the rescue. They found the Maharaja, a dignified man in silk robes, standing amidst a mountain of luggage. "I am the Maharaja," he announced. "Are you the men sent to transport my daughters and my treasure?" "Wowie, wow, wow," Monty whispered, staring at the 3 princesses who looked like they had stepped out of a dream. "I heard that." The Maharaja barked. "The next man who dares to debase the dignity of my daughters will answer to my scimitar." Leo stepped forward smoothly. "Your Highness, ignore him. In our country, Wowie is an ancient naval term for welcome. My executive officer, Pudge, will personally handle your luggage. Pudge, attempting to bow, managed to drop a trunk onto his own foot, causing him to hop around like a wounded kangaroo. Welcome. Ow. Charmed. Eek. On the return trip, the Maharaja was fascinated by the boat. Such a nimble craft. If my kingdom had a navy, I would want 1,000 of these. Would you like to steer, sir? Leo offered. May I? The Maharaja took the wheel. Within seconds, the misfit 7-3 was zigzagging across the ocean like a drunken dragonfly. Back at the base, Commodore Bluster had prepared a welcoming dinner. He was determined to catch Leo in the act of being. I've invited the Maharaja to a formal dinner, Bluster told Snide, and I've ensured the princesses are housed in the air raid shelter because the barracks are under renovation. When Gravely sees the base commander is housing royalty in a hole in the ground while a party is raging next door, the game is over. But the dinner was a disaster of a different kind. Leo's crew, fearing the Maharaja would realize they had accidentally borrowed his daughters for a hula lesson earlier, decided to improvise. They dressed Pudge and 2 other crew members in veils and silks, hoping to pass them off as the princesses during the dance performance. The Maharaja watched, squinting through the smoke of his hookah. My daughters, they seem to have developed. Very muscular calves. And is that a 5 o'clock shadow on the youngest one? Commodore Bluster couldn't contain himself. He leapt up and ripped the veil off the middle princess. Aha! It's Pringle. Your Highness, this man is an impostor. Captain Sterling is mocking you. The Maharaja stood up, his face thunderous. This is an outrage. My daughters are in the air raid shelter, and you have sailors in drag dancing for me? Captain, your behavior will be reported to Washington. Leo stepped in, his voice calm. Your Highness, please. The Commodore has been under a lot of stress. He's been seeing things. Hallucinations. High blood pressure. He thinks everyone is an alligator or a princess. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Maneuver. The situation reached a breaking point. Commodore Bluster, now fully recovered from his fake illness, had convened a fitness board. He was determined to strip Pudge of his commission for general incompetence and high-velocity stupidity. The board arrives tomorrow, Bluster cackled. And Pringle is going to be a seaman second class by noon. Leo knew they needed a miracle. Or, more accurately, a chemistry experiment. Monty, Leo said, looking at a tank in the infirmary. Is that what I think it is? Why me? Nitrous oxide, skipper. Laughing gas. The dentist uses it. If we can get that gas into the Commodore's office during the hearing, Leo mused, he might just become the most pleasant man on earth. The day of the hearing arrived. Admiral Shoemaker, a stern man with a face like a granite cliff, presided. Bluster was ready to deliver the final blow. Admiral, Bluster began. This officer, Pringle, is a menace. He once torpedoed a garbage scow because he thought it was a camouflaged submarine. Suddenly, a faint hissing sound came from the vents. Leo's crew was outside, pumping the laughing gas through the window. Bluster stopped mid-sentence. His eyes widened. A small, involuntary giggle escaped his lips. And, the garbage scow. It was, tee-hee. It was covered in potato peels. Ha ha ha. Potato peels. Can you imagine? The irony. The Admiral stared. Commodore, are you quite all right? All right? I'm wonderful. Everything is wonderful. Pudge, Chucky Wucky, come here, you big, beautiful galoot. Bluster ran over and hugged Pudge, who was too terrified to move. Admiral, I want to cancel the hearing. Promote him. Give him a medal. Give everyone a medal. Bluster began to dance. He grabbed a pair of ornamental hula hoops from the wall and started gyrating. I'm a butterfly. A beautiful, bureaucratic butterfly. The Admiral turned to Leo. Sterling, what is the meaning of this? Combat fatigue, sir, Leo said, shaking his head sadly. The Admiral sighed. Clearly. Take him back to the hospital. And as for Pringle, If a man can stand in the face of such madness and remain calm, he's got a future in the Navy. Chapter 5. Gus the Alligator and the Final Payoff. Peace, or a reasonable facsimile of it, returned to Isla del Sol. Skipper, look, I found a mascot. Pudge, Leo groaned. That's an alligator. It eats people. His name is Gus, and he loves peanut butter. Look, he's smiling. That's not a smile, Pudge. That's a measurement of your head. Meanwhile, Commodore Blaster had a new scheme. He had received the base payroll, $62,000, in small, unmarked bills. He decided to bait a trap. He would leave his wallet, stuffed with marked $100 bills, in a place where Leo's crew would surely steal it. When they take the money, Blaster told Snide, we'll catch them with the serial numbers. It's foolproof. Whoa, one sired, Selemas. He dropped the wallet near the beach and hid in the bushes. Suddenly, Gus the Alligator waddled by. Gus, spotting the leather wallet, decided it looked like a very fancy snack. Snap! The wallet vanished down Gus's throat. My wallet! Blaster screamed, running out of the bushes. That lizard stole my $900. He chased Gus right into Leo's barracks. Sterling, your dinosaur ate my money. I'm having you all arrested for grand larceny by proxy. A court-martial was convened. Blaster was the accuser, the judge, and the star witness. I intend to prove, Blaster shouted, that this beast was trained by Sterling to pick pockets. I want my $900 back, and I want these men in the brig. Leo stood up. Your Honor, we have no money. Gus acts on his own. If the money is in the alligator, you'll have to wait for nature to take its course. I can't wait, Blaster yelled. I want a mistrial. I want an X-ray. I want justice. Suddenly, Goose let out a loud, wet belch. Out of his mouth flew a soggy, leather object. It landed right on the Admiral's desk. The Admiral opened the wallet. Commodore, there's no $900 in here. There's just your ID card and a very chewed-up picture of your mother-in-law. But, Blaster stammered. Wait, Pudge cried. Look. Goose began to thrash around. From the other end of the alligator, a series of green papers began to flutter out. Leo's crew scrambled to catch them. It's the payroll, Monty shouted. The crooks who actually stole the payroll must have hidden it in the old cannon on the beach, and Gus must have eaten it when he was looking for more peanut butter. The Admiral counted the soggy bills. $62,000. Every cent is here. Captain Sterling, it seems your mascot has saved the Navy's treasury. He turned to Blaster, who was currently being chased around the room by a very hungry-looking Gus. Commodore, perhaps you should spend less time setting traps and more time studying zoology. Epilogue. The sun sets on the azure sea. The misfit 7-3 sat in the harbor, the crew finally enjoying their stolen ham. Pudge was sitting on the bow, feeding Gus a jar of extra crunchy peanut butter. You know, Skipper, Pudge said, I think I'm getting the hang of this officer thing. Leo looked at the horizon, where the sunset turned the azure sea into a sheet of liquid gold. In the distance, he could hear the faint, high-pitched scream of Commodore Blaster, who had accidentally walked under a ladder and was now convinced he was cursed for the next 7 years. Pudge, Leo smiled. As long as the Commodore has an ulcer and we have a boat, we're going to be just fine. And so, the azure anchors stayed firm, held in place by a mixture of luck, laughter, and the occasional well-timed belch of an alligator. The end. The Marauders of Mangrove Cay, a novel of nautical nonsense and tactical treachery. Prologue. The Garter Belt Crisis. The war was supposedly happening somewhere to the north, involving maps, strategies, and men with very clean uniforms. But on the island of Isla del Caos, the war was primarily about plumbing and hosiery. General Alistair Thorne, a man whose stomach acid could reportedly burn through a hull plate, stood in his office clutching a telegram. His face was the color of a ripe pomegranate. Garter belts, Thorne bellowed, the sound echoing off the corrugated tin walls. Briggs, You are the supply officer of this godforsaken sandbar. If the nurses need garter belts to keep their stockings from retreating to their ankles, you snap to it. Shake a leg. Or, rather, help them shake theirs. Barnaby Barn Briggs leaned against the doorframe, looking less like a captain of the Republic Navy and more like a man who had just won a hammock testing competition. General, with all due respect, the supply lines are thinner than the coffee in the mess hall. I can get you a crate of depth charges or a fermented coconut, but silk elastic is a tall order. Thorne clutched his midsection. Everything is on my shoulders. And now, the final nail. The man eats officers for breakfast and spits out their buttons. And look at this place. The Petty Officers Club has sinks backing up with something that looks like primordial ooze. And my best captain is a black market buccaneer. Briggs smiled, a slow, dangerous expression. Maybe you need a rest, General. You look peaked. And so, the fuse was lit. Chapter 1. The Acting Commander's Orgy. Thorne's plan was a masterpiece of cowardice. By faking a mysterious tropical ailment, which he dubbed pangolin pox, he could retreat to the safety of the infirmary and appoint Briggs as acting base commander. The logic was simple. Briggs would inevitably turn the base into a chaotic circus within 24 hours. Admiral Sterling would arrive, witness the carnage, and have Briggs court-martialed into the next century. Thorne would then recover, lamenting the tragedy of his subordinates' incompetence. I'm a very sick man, Briggs. Thorne groaned from his hospital cot, clutching a bottle of pink antacid as if it were a holy relic. You look terrible, sir. Briggs lied, trying to hide his excitement. I am appointing you acting base commander. And Pringle here, he pointed to the trembling Lieutenant Percy Pringle, who was currently tangled in his own binocular strap, will be your executive officer. Percy Pringle beamed. An XO? Oh boy. You won't regret this, General. I'll run this base like a Swiss watch. Pikuzomu. That's what I'm afraid of, Thorne muttered, pulling the covers over his head. The moment the General was out of sight, the SS, Misfortune crew, the rusty marauders, turned Isla del Caos into a tropical Vegas. While Briggs sat behind the mahogany desk in the commander's office, Percy Pringle attempted to manage the base's logistics. This involved accidentally authorizing the construction of a new rifle range in the middle of the nurses' volleyball court, and ordering 10,000 crates of garter belts that turned out to be slingshots for oversized toddlers. By the time the sun hit high noon, the acting command had authorized a cultural exchange festival. This was, in reality, a massive luau featuring hula dancers, a floating bar made of empty fuel drums, and a gambling ring involving hermit crab races. Briggs, Pringle squeaked, running into the office. The radar. It's picking up a craft. It's the Admiral. He's early. Briggs didn't blink. Tell the boys to move the hula dancers into the air raid shelter. And tell the bartender to hide the gin in the base laundry boilers. Chapter 2. The Sultan's Garter. The arrival of Admiral Sterling was preceded by a different kind of guest. Sultan Zarif of the Marami Isles. The Sultan was a man of immense wealth, 3 beautiful daughters, and a temper that could boil the ocean. He had been rescued by the S. Misfortune after his yacht suffered engine trouble, which mostly involved the crew borrowing his spark plugs to see if they fit their moonshine still. Greetings, O exalted ruler, Briggs said, greeting the Sultan at the dock. The Sultan looked at the base. Where are the honors? Where is the dignity? And why is that man? He pointed at Percy Pringle, wearing a floral lei over his life jacket. It's a local naval custom, Your Highness, Pringle chirped. It signifies, tactical friendliness. The Sultan's daughters, however, were more interested in the cultural exchange. One of them, Princess Siri, had taken a particular liking to a rogue crewman named Virgil, who had convinced her that wow 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 was a traditional American greeting for royalty. Meanwhile, Thorne, watching from his hospital window, was ecstatic. He saw the chaos. He saw the hula dancers being ushered into the bunkers. He saw the Sultan looking confused. "This is it, Carpenter," Thorne hissed to his aide. "The Admiral is landing. We go to the laundry room. We show him the hidden gin. We show him the hula girls in the bunker. Briggs is dead." But Briggs was a step ahead. When the Admiral finally stepped onto the sand, his face a mask of iron, he found the base in a state of rigid fire drill protocol. "Admiral Sterling," Briggs barked, saluting with such force his elbow popped. "Welcome to Isla del Caos. We are currently mid-drill." "Drill?" Sterling growled. "Hallucinations, sir," Briggs said solemnly. "The heat does strange things to the mind. Just ask General Thorne. He thinks there are girls in the laundry room." Thorne burst into the scene, dragging the Admiral toward the boilers. Look in here. The evidence of the orgy." He threw open the boiler doors. Out poured hundreds of pristine, white hospital sheets. "I see sheets, Thorne," Sterling said, his voice dropping an octave. "Are you suggesting I inspect the thread count of the base's laundry?" "No. They were here. I saw the grass skirts," Thorne screamed, diving into the sheets like a madman. "Back to bed, General," Sterling commanded. "It's clear. The pox has reached your brain." Chapter 3. The Laughing Gas Gambit. The following week, the tension on the island was thick enough to cut with a rusty bayonet. Percy Pringle had accidentally torpedoed a garbage scow, thinking it was a camouflaged enemy submersible. Thorne, now recovered and seeking blood, had convened a fitness board to have Pringle stripped of his rank and sent to a labor camp in the Aleutians. "You're finished, Pringle," Thorne cackled in his office. "You're kaput. You're a seaman second class in the making." Briggs knew he had to act. "Boys," he told the marauders, "we need to get the General in a good mood." A very good mood. The crew's resident chemist, Willie, had liberated a tank of nitrous oxide from the dental clinic. The plan was simple. Pipe the laughing gas into the General's office during the hearing. As the fitness board convened, Thorne sat at the head of the table, looking like an executioner, but then the gas began to hiss through the vents. Slowly, Thorne's skull began to twitch. "And furthermore," Thorne said, his voice rising in pitch, "the defendant, he torpedoed a potato peel. Ha 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 ha." The Admiral on the board looked confused. "General, this is a serious matter." "It's a riot," Thorne roared, slapping the table. "He's a genius. Deadeye Pringle, the scourge of the spuds. Give him a medal. Promote him to Admiral of the bathtub." Thorne began dancing on the table, singing a ribald song about a mermaid and a supply clerk. The hearing ended abruptly when Thorne tried to knight a potted palm tree. "I think he's feeling better," Briggs remarked, as they watched Thorne being led away, still giggling and calling the guards his little ducklings. Chapter 4. Barnaby the Barnacle Gator. The final catastrophe involved the base payroll $62,000 in small, unmarked bills. Thorne, in a fit of tactical genius, decided to use the payroll as bait to trap Briggs in a theft. He marked the bills and accidentally left his wallet on a beach where the marauders were known to have their secret luau's. But nature had other plans. Enter Barnaby the Barnacle Gator, a 12-foot alligator with a penchant for peanut butter sandwiches and a grudge against military bureaucracy. Barnaby had wandered onto the beach, found the wallet, and thinking it was a particularly leathery snack, swallowed it whole. When the payroll went missing, Thorne pounced. "I've got you, Briggs. You and your thieves stole the wallet. I have the serial numbers. Search the ship." "We didn't take it, sir," Briggs said, holding back a smirk. "The alligator did." "An alligator?" Thorne screamed. "Do you think I was born yesterday? You expect me to believe a reptile is currently walking around with the defense budget in its stomach?" The case went to a court-martial. Pringle, acting as his own defense attorney, argued that Barnaby the Gator was the victim of an unhappy childhood and was merely seeking financial security. "I object," Thorne yelled. "You can't call an alligator a witness." "I can, if he has the evidence, sir," Briggs said. Just then, the marauders led Barnaby the Gator into the courtroom. lured by the scent of a double-decker peanut butter sandwich held by Pringle. "There he is," Thorne pointed. The thieving beast, Barnaby, annoyed by Thorne's shouting, let out a massive belch. A small, soggy leather object flew out of his mouth and landed directly on the judge's desk. The judge opened the wallet. "These are the serial numbers, General. But why is there a note in here from you, dated yesterday, saying, 'This is a trap for Briggs'?" Thorne turned white. That was a memo, a tactical memo. The charges are dismissed," the judge ruled. Epilogue. The Haunted Misfortune. As the sun set over Mangrove Cay, the crew of the S. Misfortune sat on the deck of their boat, sipping Willie's latest batch of engine coolant punch. They had survived the Admiral, the Sultan, the Laughing Gas, and the Alligator. The base was still standing, Thorne was still screaming, and the war felt very, very far away. "You know, Skip," Pringle said, looking at his new medal for tactical excellence in gator management, "I think we've really got this military thing figured out." Briggs looked at the shore, where General Thorne was currently trying to chase a hula girl out of his jeep while wearing only one boot. "Percy," Briggs said, lighting a cigar, "as long as the General has stomach acid, and the Sultan has daughters, I think our career in the Navy is safe." From the bushes, Barnaby the Gator let out a satisfied grunt. Dreaming of peanut butter and $62,000 worth of fiber, the war went on. But on Isla del Caos, the marauders were winning. The rogues of Risas. The misadventures of Captain Lucky Logan. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Ultimatum. Commander Sterling Vane was a man whose blood pressure was roughly the same as the steam pressure in a failing locomotive. He sat in his office on the sun-scorched outpost of Isla de Risas, staring at a requisition form that seemed to be mocking his very existence. "Garter belts!" Vane screamed, the sound echoing off the corrugated tin roof. "Pringle! Why am I looking at a request for 6 dozen lace garter belts?" Lieutenant Barnaby Pringle, a man whose relationship with gravity was purely adversarial, tripped over the doorstep as he entered. He saluted, nearly poking his own eye out. "The nurses, sir, they say the tropical humidity is... Well, things are slipping, sir. They need structural support. Snap to it, Pringle. Shake a leg. If the nurses need to be held together by lace, you find that lace." Vane leaned back, clutching his stomach. What a war. Everything is on my shoulders. I'm the commanding officer here, not a haberdasher. The phone rang with the shrill persistence of a debt collector. Vane snatched it up. "Yes, this is Vane. Who did you expect? The ghost of Christmas past?" Vane, his face suddenly drained of color, turning a shade of gray usually reserved for battleship hulls. "Admiral Iron Jaw Jagger? Today, a sneak inspection?" Vane slammed the phone down. The island was a mess. The Petty Officers Club had sinks backing up with something that smelled like fermented seaweed, and Captain Lucky Logan, the bane of Vane's life, was likely currently running a black market casino on the beach. "My stomach acid could start a diesel engine," Vane groaned, reaching for a bottle of white pills. "Sir, please," Pringle cautioned. Vane froze. An idea, oily and brilliant, began to slide through his panicked mind. Wait, if I was sick, truly, terribly, incapacitatingly ill, I couldn't possibly meet the Admiral. I'd have to appoint an acting base commander. "Julian, sir?" Pringle suggested, referring to Vane's equally high-strung adjutant. "No, you ninny. Logan. If I put Lucky Logan and his band of cutthroats in charge, they'll turn this base into a Roman orgy within 20 minutes. They'll destroy themselves right in front of Iron Jaw Jagger. It's brilliant. Pringle, tell me I look sick. You look sort of green, sir? Like a bad lime? Excellent. Call the medic. Hurry. I'm fading. I'm paying the ultimate price for my country." Vane collapsed onto his sofa with the dramatic flair of a silent movie star. Chapter 2. The Happy Invalid. Captain Lucky Logan entered the infirmary, smelling of salt water and expensive cigars. He looked at Commander Vane, who was wrapped in enough blankets to survive an Arctic winter despite the 90-degree heat. "Gee, Commander," Logan said, his voice dripping with suspicious concern. "Logan, it's the end," Vane wheezed, rolling his eyes back. "The doctors, they've never seen anything like it. Tropical gout. Screaming scurvy. It's bad, Logan. Very bad." "We're all devastated, sir," Logan replied, winking at Pringle behind the commander's back. "I have to appoint an acting commander while I'm in this Valley of Shadows," Vane continued. "I've chosen you, Logan. And Pringle here will be your executive officer." Logan blinked. "Me? Behind a desk? Sir, I'm a saltwater skipper. I don't know a file cabinet from a footlocker." "It's an order," Vane snapped, momentarily losing his dying voice. He quickly corrected himself to a whimper. "Now go. Take command. My office is yours. Just try not to burn the island down while I'm meeting my maker." As Logan and Pringle left, Vane sat up and began to whistle. "This is going to be the happiest illness of my life, Pringle." Logan is going to walk right into a buzzsaw named Jagger. Back at the office, the transition was immediate. Logan sat at the mahogany desk, feet up, while a line of sailors formed outside. "The sinks are still plugged, Chief," a sailor complained. "Fix them with a stick of dynamite," Logan suggested. "Next, the garter belts arrived, sir," Pringle announced, holding up a bundle of lace. "Give 'em to the nurses and tell 'em to have a parade." Logan laughed, but the laughter stopped when the radar operator burst in. "Sir, unidentified plane landing. It's got the admiral's markings." "Iron Jaw Jagger," Logan whispered. "That old fox Vane. He set us up." Chapter 3. The Maharaja and the Masquerade. Before Logan could even process the admiral's arrival, a new crisis landed literally. A gold-trimmed seaplane touched down in the lagoon. Out stepped a man in a silk turban encrusted with enough. "I am the Maharaja of Marapan," the man declared. "My plane had engine trouble. I require hospitality for myself and my 3 daughters, the princesses." Logan, ever the opportunist, realized that a Maharaja's favor was worth more than 1,000 admirals. "Your Highness, I am acting Commander Logan. Welcome to Isla de Risas. I see no. We'll have your plane fixed in a jiffy. In the meantime, would you like to drive a PT boat? It's very relaxing. Drive a boat? I should like that immensely," the Maharaja boomed, while the Maharaja was busy trying to steer a 50-ton torpedo boat into a coral reef. Vane was watching from his hospital window with a telescope. "He's got hula girls in the air raid shelter," Vane shrieked to Pringle. "I saw them. And the Maharaja's daughters are dancing on the mess hall tables. Pringle, find me a seaman's uniform. I'm going to catch him in the act." "But sir, the admiral is here." "Even better. We'll find the admiral, show him the orgy, and Logan will be executed by sunset." The plan went sideways when Vane, dressed in a baggy seaman's blouse and a hat that kept falling over his eyes, was spotted by the Maharaja. "Who is this numbskull?" the Maharaja asked, pointing at Vane. "He's a local mascot, sir," Logan lied quickly. "Suffering from combat fatigue. He thinks he's a commander." Vane turned purple. "Admiral Jagger, look at them. There are women in the laundry. There's a Maharaja driving our boats. This man Logan is a pirate." Admiral Jagger, a man whose face was carved out of granite, looked at Vane. Binghamton, Vane, you are out of uniform, screaming about hula girls and harassing a royal guest. Medic, take this man back to the psychiatric ward. He's delirious." "I'm not delirious. I'm Sterling Vane." Vane screamed as he was dragged away. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Defense. The fallout from the Maharaja's visit led to a fitness board hearing for Lieutenant Pringle. Vane, recovered from his delirium, was determined to strip Pringle of his commission to get at Logan. July 16th, Vane read from a ledger during the hearing. Lieutenant Pringle torpedoed a garbage scow. He claimed he thought it was a Japanese submarine camouflaged with potato peels. Logan knew he needed a miracle. He looked at his crew, a group of men who could strip a jeep for parts in under 30 seconds. Men, we need to jolly the commander up. What did I feel like after the dentist the other day? Laughing gas. Skip, one of the sailors replied. The crew managed to divert a tank of nitrous oxide into the ventilation system of Vane's office just as the hearing began. Vane sat at his desk, ready to deliver the final blow. Pringle, you are a disgrace to the Vane stopped. He felt a strange tickle in his lungs. You torpedoed a garbage scow with potato peels? Vane began to giggle. The giggle turned into a wheeze, then a full-blown roar of laughter. That's the funniest thing I've ever heard. Pringle, you're a genius. Why didn't I think of that? Potato peels. Ha ha ha. He leaned out the window. Look at those sailors. They're so cute, like little ants. Admiral Shoemaker, who had arrived to oversee the board, walked in. Vane? Is this the man you wanted to court-martial? Shoemaker, old pal, old buddy. Vane draped an arm around the admiral. Let's cancel the hearing. Let's have a party. Pringle is my best friend. My chucky-wucky. The gas eventually wore off, leaving Vane with a pounding headache and a signed document promoting Pringle to senior lieutenant. Vane stared at the paper in horror. What have I done? I've promoted the idiot. Chapter 5. The Alligator Witness. The final straw came when the base payroll, $62,000 in small, unmarked bills, went missing in the nearby port of Port Royal. Vane had specifically entrusted Pringle with the bag, hoping he'd lose it so Vane could finally put the whole crew in the brig for life. Pringle had indeed lost it. He'd been distracted by a girl with a heart-shaped birthmark on her ankle and a very large, very hungry crocodile named Gnasher. I'm telling you, Skip, Pringle cried. The croc ate the wallet. He just walked up and snatched it right out of my hand. A crocodile ate $62,000? Logan asked, rubbing his temples. Pringle, even by your standards, that's a stretch. Vane was already holding the court-martial. I have the evidence, Vane shouted. I found Pringle's ID card in the mud. He stole the money and hid it. Just then, Logan and his men marched into the courtroom. They weren't alone. They were dragging a 10-foot crocodile on a leash. Sir, Logan addressed the judge. We'd like to call our key witness to the stand. This is Gnasher. He has the evidence. The courtroom descended into chaos. Get that monster out of here, Vane shrieked. Not until he testifies, Logan replied. He tossed a peanut butter sandwich at the crocodile. Gnasher snapped his jaws and, with a violent cough, spat out a soggy leather bag. Logan opened it. Out spilled $62,000 in crisp, marked bills. 1 Iki, 1 Selas, 1 Karitu, Iki, 1 Selas, 1 Karitu. Wait, the judge said, squinting. These bills are marked with Commander Vane's initials. Why would the commander mark a government payroll? Vane turned pale. I just wanted to be sure they didn't steal it. It was a trap. A trap? The judge thundered. You used the government payroll to set a trap for your own officers? Commander Vane, you are hereby charged with gross negligence and conduct unbecoming an officer. As Vane was led away, Gnasher the crocodile let out a long, satisfied belch. Logan leaned back and lit a cigar. You know, Pringo, for a bumbling idiot, you've got some very interesting friends. Thanks, Skip, Pringle said, accidentally knocking over the court's water pitcher. Do you think we can keep him as a mascot? Logan looked at the crocodile, then at the tropical sunset. Why not? He's the only honest witness we've had on this island in months. And so, as the sun set over Isla de Risas, the sea wolves celebrated. The payroll was safe. The commander was in disgrace. And somewhere in the distance, a group of nurses was proudly wearing their new structural lace garter belts. Epilogue. The aftermath. A month later, a postcard arrived for Captain Logan. It was from the Maharaja of Marapan. Dear Lucky Logan, it read. Having a wonderful time. My daughters still speak of your PT boat. I have sent you a gift, a small chest of emeralds. Please hide it from that man who looks like a chicken. Sincerely, the Maharaja. Logan tucked the emeralds into his boot and smiled. Pringle! Get the boat ready. We're going to Port Royal. But the new commander arrives today, sir, Pringle shouted. Then we'd better be 3 miles out before he drops anchor. Logan laughed. Full speed ahead. The Indigo Mutiny. The Misadventures of the 101st Skiff. Chapter 1. The Ulcer of Mistral Island. Mistral Island was a speck of volcanic rock and palm trees in the vast Indigo Sea, a place where the humidity was so thick you could carve it with a bayonet. And the local mosquitoes had achieved a level of organization that bordered on a sovereign government. It was here that Commodore Bartholomew, Old Ironsides Grimsby, ruled with an iron fist, or at least a very sweaty palm. Grimsby was a man whose stomach acid could arguably be used as a high-grade industrial solvent. He spent his mornings popping white pills and staring out his office window at the source of his eternal torment. The 101st Skiff, a patched-together patrol boat manned by a crew of miscreants who treated the Navy's regulations like a set of light suggestions. Garter belts! Grimsby screamed, slamming a hand on his mahogany desk. Pippin! Why am I being asked to sign a requisition for garter belts? Lieutenant Barnaby Bumble Pippin, a man who looked like he had been born wearing a permanent expression of mild apology, jumped 3 feet in the air. The nurses! Sir, they've been complaining of drooping issues. It's a morale factor, sir. Morale? Grimsby hissed. I'm the commanding officer of this base, not a haberdasher. Tell them to snap to it. Shake a leg. Oh, you know what I mean. What a war. Everything is on my shoulders while Sterling and his band of cutthroats are out there drinking coconut fermented moonshine. Actually, sir, Pippin whispered. That's why I'm here. We just got a message. Admiral Steelgaze. Sterling, your old nemesis, is arriving today for a sneak inspection. Grimsby's face turned a shade of purple that was technically impossible under the laws of biology. Steelgaze? Not him. Not now. This place is a disaster. The sinks in the Petty Officers Club are backing up. The laundry smells like diesel. And the 101st crew is currently holding a crab racing tournament on the beach. Grimsby slumped into his chair, clutching his stomach. A treacherous thought began to bloom in his mind. If he were sick, honestly, truly, medically incapacitated, and better yet, he could appoint a sacrificial lamb to take the heat. Pippin, Grimsby groaned, suddenly sounding like a man on his deathbed. I'm fading. My stomach. It's a war zone. I think I'm going to pay. Oh, I'm going to pay. Sir? Catch you, sir. Pippin stood frozen as Grimsby dramatically collapsed toward the floor. You stupid nitwit! You're supposed to catch me when I faint. Grimsby barked from halfway down. He quickly regained his dying composure. Listen, I'm appointing an acting base commander. Not you. You'd apologize the admiral into a stupor. I'm appointing Jax Riptide Sterling, the commander of the 101st, sir. Pippin gasped. But he'll destroy the base. Exactly. Grimsby grinned wickedly. He'll run wild, destroy himself right in front of the admiral, and I'll be sitting in the hospital, innocent as a babe. Now, call the medic. Scream. Make it look real. Chapter 2. The Coronation of the Pirates. Commander Jax Riptide Sterling was a man who looked like he belonged on a surfboard rather than a bridge. When he strolled into Grimsby's office, he found the Commodore wrapped in blankets, shivering with a suspicious amount of theatrical vigor. Jax, my boy, Grimsby whimpered. The doctors. They don't know what it is. A rare tropical malaise. I'm out. You're in charge. You and your crew. Take the office. Dig the base. Sterling squinted. You want me to be acting base commander? Sir, I'm a saltwater skipper. I don't do desks. I don't do paperwork. I thought you'd say that, Grimsby wheezed. So, I'm appointing Pippin here as your executive officer. He knows where the staplers are hidden. Oh, boy, did you hear that, skipper? Pippin beamed. I'm a real XO. I'll never regret this, Captain. I know, Grimsby muttered into his pillow. I know. Within the hour, the pirates of the 101st had moved into headquarters. The transition was chaotic. The phone rang incessantly. This is XO Pippin. What? The sinks are still plugged? Well, do you want a get well card? Hold on. The Seabees are building a rifle range in the middle of a coconut grove. Tell them to keep their heads down. Sterling sat behind the massive desk, his feet up, trying to coordinate a supply list for garter belts while simultaneously tracking a mysterious radar contact that turned out to be a flock of low-flying pelicans. Hey, Skip! Gnasher, the crew's resident hustler, poked his head in. The boys want to throw a little shindig. A welcome to command party. We can rake in a pile of dough. Full speed ahead, Nasher, Sterling said, distracted by a memo about laundry boilers. Just keep it quiet. To the moon, Skip. Gnasher disappeared. 2 hours later, Mistral Island had transformed. The air raid shelter was being used as a backstage area for a hula troupe. A makeshift bar was serving tropical torpedoes, mostly grain, alcohol, and pineapple juice. The crew was opening up shop. That was when the message came. Admiral Steelgaze's plane had touched down. Sterling's blood ran cold. Pippin, get those girls out of the air raid shelter. Get the bar hidden. Grimsby set us up. He's sitting in that hospital bed waiting for us to get clobbered. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Skiff. The inspection was a blur of near disasters, but Sterling managed to survive by the skin of his teeth, mostly by convincing the Admiral that the hula music was traditional psychological warfare training. However, no sooner had the Admiral departed than a new challenge arrived. A royal yacht. The Sultan of Ouroboros was a man of immense wealth and even more immense dignity. He was traveling with his 3 daughters, the princesses, and his priceless cargo of ancient artifacts. Grimsby suddenly recovered from his illness the moment the prospect of royal prestige appeared, pushed Sterling aside. Your Highness. Grimsby bowed so low his nose nearly touched his shoes. Welcome to Mistral. I trust your voyage on Sterling's little boat was adequate? Boat? Adequate? It was more than adequate, the Sultan boomed. Commander Sterling is a very efficient officer. He even let me steer the boat. Grimsby's eye twitched. Steer the boat? My goodness, how reckless. The Sultan insisted on a grand dinner. The problem was that the 101st crew had already made friends with the princesses. Specifically, Gnasher had convinced the youngest princess, Siri, that he was a special deep-sea diplomat and had taken her on a secret boat ride. When the engines of the 101st stalled out at sea, leaving Gnasher and Princess Siri stranded, the base went into a panic. Grimsby was hosting the dinner, waiting for the princesses to appear. Where are they? Grimsby hissed at Sterling. Dressing, sir. You know how women are with their veils. Sterling lied, sweating. In reality, Pippin was backstage, trying to convince the other 2 princesses to dance faster to distract the Sultan. When that failed, Pippin did the only logical thing a panicked lieutenant could do. He put on a veil, stuffed 2 coconuts into a silk tunic, and joined the dance line. The Sultan watched the performance with a mixture of confusion and horror. Captain Grimsby, why does your 3rd daughter have such hairy ankles? And why is she apologizing while she dances? She's from the mountainous regions, sir, Grimsby shouted, trying to cover the sight. Very traditional. Very rustic. The ruse fell apart when the Princess Pippin tripped over a rug, sending a coconut flying into Grimsby's soup. The Sultan's fury was cooled only by Sterling's quick thinking. He arrived just in time with the real Princess Siri, claiming they had been out on a cultural exchange mission. Chapter 4. The Laughing Gas Incident. Grimsby had finally had enough. He decided to convene a fitness board to break Pippin down to a seaman 2nd class. I'm a regular Casey Jones when it comes to railroading. Sterling. Your boy is finished. Sterling knew he had to jolly up the Commodore. The crew came up with a plan involving the base dentist's latest shipment, nitrous oxide. Presto. Gnasher unveiled a tank. 1 tank of 100-proof laughing gas. We spray it through the window of Grimsby's office. He gets the giggles, and he cancels the hearing. The plan started well. Sterling lured Grimsby into his office. Outside, Nasher pumped the gas through the vent. Sterling, Grimsby shouted. Grimsby's voice suddenly climbed an octave. He's a very funny little man, isn't he? He. Sir? Pippin asked, confused. Look at him. He looks like a penguin with a head cold. Ha ha ha. Grimsby was now doubled over, tears streaming down his face. And you, Sterling, your eyebrows look like caterpillars having a wrestling match. Ha ha ha. I'm glad you're in a good mood, sir, Sterling said, trying to hold his breath. So, about the fitness board? Cancel it. Cancel everything. Let's have a party. Pippin, you're a chucky-wucky. I'm a bingy-wingy. The trouble started when Admiral Shoemaker, the head of the fitness board, arrived early. He walked into the office to find the Commodore dancing on his desk with a lampshade on his head, singing about tiny garter belts. Grimsby, the Admiral roared. Hey, Admiral Showy Wowy. Grimsby giggled, poking the Admiral in the stomach. You want to see a fire drill? Whoosh! Sterling and the crew spent the next hour desperately trying to convince the Admiral that the Commodore was suffering from combat fatigue and hallucinations. In a bizarre twist of fate, an actual air raid siren went off. Pippin, still high on the residual gas, wandered out into the open, laughing in the face of death. Masi, no si argo. He managed to accidentally fire a 50 caliber machine gun while trying to swat a fly, which miraculously shot down a low-flying enemy scout plane. The Admiral was stunned. Brave. Magnificent. That lad stood laughing in the face of fire. Grimsby, you were right. This boy is a hero. Grimsby, finally coming down from the gas, woke up face down in a flower bed to find Pippin being awarded a medal. Why me? He whispered into the dirt. Why is it always me? Chapter 5. The Legend of Sydney. Life on Mistral Island took a turn for the surreal when the crew adopted a new mascot, an 8-foot alligator they named Sydney. Sydney was surprisingly affectionate, especially if you fed him Ganasha's mother's specialty peanut butter sandwiches. However, Sydney's arrival coincided with a major crisis: the disappearance of the base payroll $62,000 in small, unmarked bills. Grimsby was convinced Sterling had swiped it. I've got you this time. I marked the bills. And I found my empty wallet in the mouth of that prehistoric lizard of yours. Sir, Sydney didn't steal your wallet, Pippin pleaded. Retriever? He's a thief. Grimsby organized a court-martial on the beach. He stood before the judges, pointing a trembling finger at the crew. I intend to prove that this mascot is a code name for Sterling's offshore bank account. Pippin, acting as his own defense attorney, argued that Sydney had an unhappy childhood and was being framed. Sir, I object. You can't call Sydney stupid. He may look stupid, but he's brilliant. The trial reached its climax when Sterling arrived, leading Sydney on a leash, using a peanut butter sandwich as bait. Your Honor, Sterling shouted. Behold the key witness. Sydney waddled into the courtroom. Grimsby shrieked and climbed onto the judge's table. Get that beast out of here! He's resisting arrest. Wait, the judge shouted. What's in his mouth? Sydney opened his massive jaws and deposited a soggy canvas bag onto the sand. It was the payroll. But it wasn't just the money. Also inside were Grimsby's missing cufflinks, a set of garter belts, and a very confused crab. It turned out that a local group of smugglers had been using the air raid shelter to hide their loot, and Sydney had simply repossessed it. Grimsby was forced to drop the charges, but not before Sydney took a liking to the Commodore's trousers, resulting in a very undignified chase down the beach. Chapter 6. The Ghost of the 101st. Grimsby's final attempt to rid himself of Sterling involved a bit of psychological warfare. He convinced the crew that the 101st skiff was a jinxed boat, originally commissioned as the 13th skiff, a vessel where 2 previous crews had disappeared into thin air. The crew was terrified. Skip, we're living on borrowed time. The boat's a floating Jonah. It's a trick, boys, Sterling said, but even he was spooked when the engines started by themselves in the middle of the night, and ghostly whistles echoed through the rigging. Actually, Grimsby with a megaphone. The crew put in for immediate transfers. Grimsby was ecstatic. I've done it. They're leaving. I'm finally free. But Sterling discovered the ruse. He found Grimsby's script for the ghostly noises in the trash. The next night, the crew decided to give Grimsby a taste of his own medicine. They dressed in white sheets, painted the boat with phosphorescent paint, and drifted past Grimsby's window at 3 a.m. Wally. Bingy wingy. Ganesha wailed through a tube. We've come back from the big PT boat in the sky. Grimsby bolted upright, his hair standing on end. Ghosts! I knew it! McHale! We can't save you, Wally. Sterling's voice boomed from the darkness. Unless you sign these papers. Grimsby signed everything: the transfer, cancellations, a request for a month's leave for the crew, and a formal apology for calling them pirates. When the sun rose, Grimsby realized he'd been had. He stood on the dock, watching the 101st skiff head out for a reconnaissance mission, which everyone knew was actually a fishing trip. Sterling, he screamed, shaking his fist. I'll get you. One of these days, I'll get you. Sterling waved back lazily. Love you too, Bingy Wingy. Pippin stood next to Sterling, looking at the horizon. You know, Skip, I think we're gonna be just fine here on Mistral. Of course we are. Pippin. Sterling smiled, leaning back against the rail. As long as the peanut butter holds out and the Commodore keeps his blood pressure up, we've got the best job in the Navy. And as the 101st skiff disappeared into the indigo mist, the sound of laughter drifted back across the water, a sound that would haunt Commodore Grimsby's dreams for years to come. The Scoundrels of Isla del Sol, a novel of military mishaps and tropical madness. Chapter 1. The Admiral and the Ulcer. The sun over Isla del Sol didn't just shine, it interrogated you. It was a brutal, relentless heat that turned naval uniforms into sweat-soaked rags and transformed the logic of the United States Navy into something resembling a fever dream. At the center of this sweltering madness sat Commodore Horatio Hardnose Haddock, a man whose blood pressure was currently high enough to power a small destroyer. Haddock stared at a requisition form with the intensity of a man looking at a death warrant. Garter belts, he whispered, his voice trembling. Barnaby, why am I looking at a request for 6 dozen garter belts? Lieutenant Birdie Barnaby, a man whose hat was perpetually crooked and whose soul was permanently startled, snapped to attention, or at least a civilian approximation of it. The nurses, sir, they've been complaining of gravity-related hosiery failures. I thought as supply officer, you should shake a leg. Haddock roared, slamming his fist onto the desk. Not the garter belt wearing kind, the efficient kind. I am surrounded by idiots, buffoons, and pirates. Everything is on my shoulders. Just then, his aide, a sycophant named Lieutenant Smedley, burst in, waving a telegram. Sir, bad news from High Command. Admiral Iron Gut Grimsby is arriving today for a sneak inspection. Haddock's face went from beet red to a ghostly shade of parchment. Grimsby? Not the Iron Gut. He'll nose around this base for 5 minutes and realize it's a floating circus. The sinks in the officers' club are backing up. The laundry is being used to brew moonshine, and Sterling's crew is probably running a casino in the torpedo shop. Haddock clutched his stomach, popping a handful of white pills. My stomach acid could start a car engine, Smedley. I can't face Grimsby. If I were sick, truly sick, I could appoint an acting commander, someone to take the blame for this catastrophe. A slow, wicked grin spread across Haddock's face. Call Commander Mac Sterling. If I'm at death's door, Mac and his group of cutthroats will be in charge when Grimsby arrives. They'll destroy themselves in front of the admiral, and I'll be blameless. Chapter 2. The acting commander. Commander Mac Sterling was currently reclining in a hammock on the deck of the PT-13, a boat that looked more like a floating junkyard than a vessel of war. He was sipping a drink out of a coconut when Smedley arrived to deliver the news of Haddock's imminent demise. The Commodore is dying? Mac asked, one eyebrow raised. He seemed remarkably healthy this morning when he was screaming at the seagulls for being out of uniform. He is in agony, Sterling. He's appointed you. Acting base commander. Smedley lied through his teeth. Mac sighed. standing up. Well, boys, you heard the man. I'm the boss. Barnaby, you're my executive officer. Let's go see what's wrong with the old man. When they arrived at the infirmary, Haddock was draped over a bed, moaning with theatrical gusto. Oh, the pain, Sterling. The agony. I'm in bad shape. Raise my head a little, will you? Barnaby rushed forward, accidentally tripping over a bedpan and slamming Haddock's headboard into the wall. Gah! Put it down. Put it down. Haddock shrieked, forgetting his illness for a moment. Oh, the weakness. I can't even hold my head up. Sterling, you take over. Handle the base. Take my office. Just leave me to my misery. Mac grinned. Don't you worry, sir. My boys and I will run this place with sterling efficiency. Haddock waited until they left before turning to Smedley. This is going to be the happiest illness of my life. Grimsby will arrive, see Sterling's circus, and I'll be promoted for merely surviving under such incompetence. Chapter 3. The Sultan and the Sinks. 24 hours into Mac's command, Isla del Sol had transformed. The strict naval codes had been replaced by a live-and-let-live philosophy. The Petty Officers Club was now a 2-4-hour luau, and Barnaby was currently on the phone trying to explain why the base's garter belt supply had been traded to the local islanders for 3 crates of pineapples. Hello? Yes, ma'am, Barnaby stuttered into the phone. We found the garter belts. They're being sanitized. Yes, I'll have them sent over. Mac walked in, looking at a map. Barnaby, I just got word. A sultan from the neighboring archipelago, Sultan Zafar, is arriving with his 3 daughters. High Command wants us to roll out the red carpet. A sultan? Here? Barnaby gasped. Do we bow? Which way is Mecca? Just keep the boys from debasing the princesses, Mac warned. But Haddock, watching from his hospital window, had other plans. He knew Grimsby was arriving at the same time as the Sultan. If he could frame Mac for running a harem on a naval base, it would be the end of Sterling's career. Haddock sent a nurse, Lieutenant Wilson, to tempt Mac into taking a swim, hoping the admiral would catch them in a compromising position. But Mac was too smart. He realized Haddock was sitting pretty in the hospital while he was on the griddle. When the Sultan arrived, the crew greeted him with a ceremonial greeting that involved a chorus of wowie, wow, wow, and a rhythmic chicken dance. The Sultan was baffled. Is this a customary American military salute? Exactly, Your Highness, Mac said, keeping a straight face. It's a tradition from the great state of New Jersey. Chapter 4. Laughing Gas and Lawsuits. The tension on the base reached a boiling point when Barnaby accidentally ran over Haddock's foot with a jeep. Haddock, now genuinely furious and only partially faking his other ailments, demanded a fitness board to strip Barnaby of his rank. I'm going to break you down to Seaman second class, so fast your head will spin. Haddock screamed from his wheelchair. Mac knew he had to jolly up the Commodore. The crew came up with a plan. Laughing gas. They borrowed a tank of nitrous oxide from the dental clinic and rigged it to the ventilation system of Haddock's office. Just a little fresh air, sir, Mac shouted, pumping the gas into the room. Within minutes, Haddock's rage evaporated. He began to giggle. Then he began to hoot. Oh, Sterling, you're such a card. And Barnaby, you're a chucky-wucky. I love you guys. Cancel the fitness board. Promoted. Everyone is promoted. Just as Haddock was doing a hula dance on his desk, Admiral Grimsby walked in. Binghamton, what in the name of the Great White Fleet is going on here? Grimsby barked. Haddock, high as a kite, pinched the Admiral's cheek. Oh, Iron Gut, you're so stiff. Have a drink. Have a hula girl. Grimsby turned to Mac. Is your commander insane? Combat fatigue, sir, Mac said sadly. The stress of the garter belt shortage has finally broken him. Chapter 5. Sydney, the Witness. The strangest chapter in the history of Isla del Sol began with a reptile. Barnaby, in a fit of loneliness, had adopted an alligator he named Sydney. Sydney was a friendly beast who had a peculiar fondness for peanut butter sandwiches. One afternoon, Haddock accidentally dropped his wallet, stuffed with marked $100 bills near the crew's shack, hoping to trap them for theft. But Sidney, looking for a snack, found the wallet and swallowed it whole. "My wallet!" Haddock screamed when he saw the empty ground. "McHale, Sterling, you've robbed me." He hauled the crew into a court-martial. Mac's defense was simple. "The alligator did it." "An alligator?" the judge advocate asked. "Commander, do you expect this court to believe a reptile is a pickpocket?" "I demand Sidney be allowed to testify," Barnaby shouted. To everyone's horror, the crew dragged a 7-foot alligator into the courtroom. Sidney looked around, spotted Haddock, and let out a low hiss. "He's lying," Haddock shouted, pointing at the alligator. "That beast is in league with Sterling. He's a phony Balinese bunny." The trial descended into chaos when Sidney decided he didn't like the tone of the prosecution and lunged for Haddock's leg. In the struggle, Sidney let out a massive burp, and Haddock's wallet, covered in slime but containing every marked bill, flew out and landed directly on the judge's desk. "Case dismissed," the judge said, wiping slime off his gavel. And, Commodore, stop suing your pets. Chapter 6. The Great Payroll Heist. The final act of madness involved the base payroll, $62,000, in small, unmarked bills. Mac and his crew were tasked with transporting it from a neighboring island. Haddock, convinced they would steal it, followed them in a disguise. During the journey, the crew encountered a group of pirates who were actually just local fishermen having a very loud party. In the confusion, the money bag disappeared. "It's gone, Skip," Barnaby wailed. "We're going to the brig. My mother will have to explain this to the bridge club." Mac spotted the thieves hiding in an old, abandoned fort on the beach. "Barnaby, load the cannon," Mac ordered, pointing to a rusted Spanish cannon left on the beach from the 1700s. "But we don't have cannonballs, sir." "Use the trash." "Use anything." Barnaby shoved a pile of debris into the cannon, not realizing the trash included the recovered payroll bag that the crew had managed to snatch back in the dark. As Haddock stepped out of the bushes, screaming, "I've got you now, Sterling," Mac lit the fuse. Boom! The cannon didn't fire a ball. It fired a cloud of green paper. $62,000 in cash rained down over the beach like festive confetti. Haddock stood there, blinking, as $100 bills stuck to his sweaty forehead. "Manna from heaven," Barnaby cheered. Haddock looked at the rain of money, then at the grinning Mac Sterling, and finally at Admiral Grimsby, who had watched the entire heroic recovery from a distance. "Magnificent, Sterling," Grimsby shouted, using a cannon to disperse the payroll so the pirates couldn't catch it. "Brilliant strategy." Haddock collapsed into the sand, covered in money he couldn't touch, and defeated by a logic he couldn't understand. Epilogue. Sundown on Isla del Sol. As the sun set, turning the Caribbean Sea into a pool of liquid gold, Mac Sterling sat on the deck of the PT-13. Barnaby was feeding Sidney a final peanut butter sandwich, and the sounds of a distant party drifted from the officers' club. "You know, Barnaby," Mac said, lighting a cigar, "they say war is hell." Barnaby looked at the alligator, the pineapples, and the empty crates of garter belts. Haddock's scream echoed from across the bay. "Sterling, why me? Why is it always me?" Mac just smiled. It was just another day at Isla del Sol. The Chaos. Chronicles of Laguna Azul. A novel of nautical nonsense and bureaucratic bedlam. Chapter 1. The Garter Belt Crisis. Commander Barnaby Blood Pressure Blaster was a man whose career was held together by Scotch tape, military starch, and a mounting prescription for antacids. As the head of the Maritime Safety and Harmony Coalition, MSHC, on the sun-bleached, mosquito-infested island of Laguna Azul, his primary enemies weren't foreign invaders, but rather the sheer incompetence of his subordinates and the terrifying specter of an unscheduled inspection. Wow, wow, wow. Bluster paced his office, his face a shade of crimson that would have made a beet look pale. He turned to Lieutenant Chip Crisp, a man whose only skill was an Olympic-level ability to agree with whatever Bluster said. "Crisp, you are the supply officer. I've just been informed the medical nurses are demanding garter belts." Why aren't they snapping to it? Shake a leg, man, or at least provide the means to hold one up. I'm on it, sir. Shaking every leg in the supply depot. Crisp squeaked, clicking his heels so hard he nearly gave himself a concussion. Bluster groaned, clutching his stomach. What a war. The weight of the world is on my shoulders, and all I get are requests for lingerie and reports of clogged toilets. And now this. He slammed a telegram onto the desk. High Inspector Ironjaw Jackson is arriving today. A sneak inspection. If he sees the state of this base, the gambling, the illegal stills, the general aura of piracy, he'll strip my rank and send me to guard a frozen lighthouse in the Arctic. Just then, the phone rang. Bluster snatched it up. Hello. Yes, this is Commander Bluster. Who did you expect? The Little Mermaid? What? The sinks in the petty officer's lounge are backing up? I'm a commander, not a plumber. Fix it yourself, or learn to swim in the lobby. He slammed the phone down and turned to Crisp, his eyes wild. My stomach acid could start a car cheap. I'm serious. If I have to face Jackson today, I'll explode. Unless, a slow, devious grin spread across his face. If I were sick legitimately, medically incapacitated, I'd have to appoint an acting base commander. Someone to take the fall for the mess while I hide in the infirmary. Crisp nodded enthusiastically. Sir, I am ready to accept the supreme test of leadership. Not you, you ninny, Bluster barked. Sterling. Maverick, Mav Sterling. With that silver-tongued pirate and his gang of cutthroats in charge, they'll run this place so far into the ground that Jackson will have them court-martialed before lunch. It's brilliant. I look sick, don't I? Terribly sick, sir. You look like you've been dead for 3 days. Perfect. Call the medic. On the double. Chapter 2. The acting commander, Captain Maverick Mav Sterling, was currently supervising a high-stakes turtle race behind the barracks when the summons came. Mav was a man of leisure who happened to own a uniform. His crew on the Seawolf, a PT boat that was more us than boat, were experts in everything except actual naval regulations. Heads up, boys, Mav said, adjusting his sunglasses as he walked into Bluster's office. The old man's finally lost it. Bluster lay on a gurney, groaning dramatically. Sterling, I'm in bad shape. The doctors, they don't know. It could be tropical gout. It could be spontaneous combustion. While I'm fighting for my life, I'm appointing you acting base commander. Mav leaned back, skeptical. Me? Sir, I'm a saltwater skipper. I'm no good behind a desk. It makes my skin break out. I'm not asking, Maverick. It's an order. And to help you, I'm appointing your favorite bumbling idiot, Ensign Percy Pringo, as acting executive officer. Amapora, Percy, a man whose shoelaces were a constant mystery to him, beamed with pride. Oh boy, did you hear that, Mav? I'm an exec. I'll get my clipboard. Out, out, Bluster wheezed, secretly delighted. As Mav and Percy exited, the chaos began immediately. The phone lines lit up like a Christmas tree. McHale, I mean. Sterling here, Mav answered, reclining in Bluster's plush chair. Sinks are plugged? Well, tell the petty officers to use a bucket. Garter belts? Yeah, we found them. Tell the nurses they're on the way, and tell the Seabees to keep their heads down. I've authorized a rifle range right through the middle of their construction site. Why? Because it's efficient. Within an hour, Laguna Azul had transformed. Mav had authorized a morale-boosting luau, a floating casino, and a hula dance-off. The base felt less like a military installation and more like a spring break destination in the South Pacific. Chapter 3. The Maharaja and the Inspection. The situation escalated when a distress signal arrived from a private plane. A royal entourage was forced to land on a nearby island due to engine trouble. Mav, eager for some action, took the Seawolf out to rescue them. The priceless cargo turned out to be the Maharaja of Malabar and his 3 stunning daughters. Greetings, O exalted ruler, Mav said, bowing with a flourish. I am Captain Sterling, and these are my highly specialized commandos. Behind him, The crew was busy debasement of the princesses by staring with open-mouthed wonder. "Wowee, wow, wow," muttered one sailor, staring at the youngest princess. "I travel with my most valuable possessions," the Maharaja warned, gesturing to his daughters. "If any man dares to debase their dignity, they shall answer to me." "Absolutely, sir," Mav said, nudging Percy. "Percy, don't look at them. Look at the horizon, the very far horizon." The rescue was successful, but upon returning to the base, Mav realized he had a problem. High Inspector Jackson was due any minute. He had to hide the Maharaja, the princesses, the illegal Jean, and the 36 hula dancers currently rehearsing in the air raid shelter. When Jackson's jeep finally rolled into the square, Mav stood at attention, wearing a lei over his uniform. "Inspector Jackson, welcome to Laguna Azul. Acting Base Commander Sterling at your service." Jackson, a man whose face appeared to be carved out of granite, stared at Mav's neck. "What is that floral arrangement on your person, Commander?" "An old native custom, sir, to ward off." "See, spirits." Mav lied effortlessly. Meanwhile, Bluster, who had been watching from the infirmary window, decided it was time to recover and sabotage Mav. He snuck out in a seaman's uniform, hoping to catch the hula dancers in the act. "The air raid shelter, Inspector!" Bluster shouted, running up to them. "You won't believe what's in the air raid shelter." "Girls, hula girls," Jackson sighed. "Commander Bluster, why are you wearing a seaman's uniform and screaming about hula girls?" "Because they're there. I saw them." Mav stepped in smoothly. "He's delirious, sir. Combat fatigue. He thinks he sees hula girls everywhere. He even claimed there was one in his closet this morning." Jackson opened Bluster's office door, and sure enough, a nurse in a swimsuit, who had been hiding from Bluster earlier, tumbled out. "Binghamton, I mean, Bluster," Jackson roared. "You're a swinger. Get back to the infirmary before I have you sedated." Chapter 4. The jinx of the 13th boat. Things took a dark turn when Bluster, now desperate to reclaim his base and destroy Mav, decided to frame Percy for a stolen payroll. "The payroll is $62,000, Bluster told Percy. "I want you to pick it up from the paymaster and bring it back via Saloon Road. It's a shortcut." "Saloon Road? Isn't that where the pickpockets and the racetrack are, sir?" Percy asked. "Exactly. I mean, no. It's perfectly safe." Naturally, Percy was ambushed. He was hit with a sandbag and woke up to find the $62,000 gone. Bluster immediately called for a fitness board to strip Percy of his rank. "He's a thief. A bumbling, incompetent thief," Bluster proclaimed. Mav knew Percy was innocent. He also knew that the base dentist had recently received a fresh tank of nitrous oxide laughing gas. "Boys," Mav whispered to the crew, "we're going to give Bluster a little air therapy." The crew snuck into Bluster's office and rigged the ventilation with the laughing gas. As the fitness board convened, the room began to fill with the odorless gas. Bluster, who was supposed to be testifying against Percy, suddenly began to giggle. And then, he thought it was a submarine camouflaged with potato peels. "Ha ha!" The inspector stared in horror as Bluster began to dance on the table. "I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Look at my handle, look at my spout." "He's lost his mind," Jackson shouted. "The stress of Laguna Azul has finally broken him." To make matters worse, or better, the crew discovered the real thief was a local resident. Sydney, a 3-foot-long caiman that Mav's crew had adopted as a mascot. Sydney had a habit of stealing shiny objects, and he had found the canvas payroll bag particularly attractive. Chapter 5. The Trial of Sydney the Gator. The court-martial of Ensign Percival Pringle was the most attended event in the history of the MSHC. Percy acted as his own defense attorney, which was the first mistake of the trial. "Your Honor," Percy said, pointing at a bewildered Sydney the Gator, who was sitting on the defense table wearing a small naval cap. "I present my key witness. The defendant claims that this alligator Sydney is the true mastermind behind the payroll heist." "An alligator?" Jackson asked, rubbing his temples. "You're basing your defense on a reptile?" "He's not just a reptile, sir. He's a victim of an unhappy childhood. Percy cried. He was attracted to the $62,000 because of the crisp, minty smell of the bills. He thought it was a giant green leaf. Bluster, still slightly under the influence of the laughing gas, piped up. I object. You can't call Sidney stupid. He's brilliant. He outsmarted me. The room fell silent. Jackson turned to Bluster. He outsmarted you, Commander? I mean, the alligator didn't steal it. I planted it. No, wait. Just then, Mav walked in, holding a peanut butter sandwich, Sidney's favorite. He lured Sidney toward a large, antique cannon in the corner of the courtroom. As Sidney snapped at the sandwich, he coughed up a soggy leather wallet. Exhibit